California, a city of elegance, a city of beauty. Tonight is the 50th renewal of a California Pro Football Classic. The San Francisco 49ers, the Los Angeles Rams. And ABC's NFL Monday Night Football is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury, who invite you to see all our new 75s and test any car against our cars at the Sign of the Cat. And by Sears Tire and Auto Centers for die-hard batteries, Steady Rider shock absorbers, and Sears steel-belted radial tires.
We expect a near-capacity crowd at Candlestick Park, San Francisco tonight for, as Frank put it, a traditional rivalry contest, the Rams against the 49ers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell, and it is a typically wind-blown Candlestick Park, and frankly, I am cold. But still, we look for the heat and the excitement of the contest I've already referred to. The two coaches again to be looked at. Chuck Knox, the brilliant young one, who drove Los Angeles to a 12-2 record a year ago, but who faces a testing challenge because he traded John Hadel, both for those draft choices, and Jamie Harris. The still untested one from Grambling College must prove that he can do it. On the other side of the coin, the besieged Dick Nolan. His club has lost 5 in a row, but put up a good game against Oakland a week ago. He has his own quarterback problem. Brody, as you know, retired. Spurrier got injured this year when they thought that Steve could do it. Then he tried others like Reed and Morrison. They didn't work. Now he is using a young man with apparent presence. Shows signs of ability. Number 14, Tom Owen. And his boss, Lou Spadia, says he is under no coaching pressure. His job is not in jeopardy. Quickly, let's bring in Mongo, our colleague, to discuss the defenses. Whom will you be looking at tonight?
Well, both. I think that the L.A. Rams really have a fine front four defensively, and San Francisco, Howard, they're really debatable, you know, and the problem is that they have a front four who's been together for quite a while, but I don't know, they're all starting to act like matadors out there. You know, they're not making any tackles. They're just letting the halfbacks go through them. And you can't do that.
Can you do that move one more time?
It's something like this. But I can't understand them. They have really broken down over there.
Okay, we'll be watching those respective front fours. On the offensive side, apart from the quarterbacks, let's bring in the Gipper, your view.
Now, just putting it in perspective, Howard, if the 49ers lose tonight, well, they can write it off. They can just about write it off anyway. If the Rams can win, they theoretically are going to take a 3-game lead over everyone. We're going to see some fine running backs, if you like, running in football tonight. Wilbur Jackson, the rookie from Alabama for the San Francisco 49ers. He's the 4th leading rusher in the National Football Conference. He sprained his knee a little bit last week, and if he can't go, it'll be another rookie, Del Williams. Del Williams, second-round draft pick. He had a 71-yard run last week against Oakland. He's fast, a legitimate 9.5 sprinter. Then we have the National Football Conference's leading rusher in Larry McCutcheon of the Los Angeles Rams. He is one fine football player, and he needs 56 yards to regain that lead in the National Football League from O.J. Simpson tonight. A lot of good football talent on the line tonight, and a lot more on the line for the 49ers. They really want this football game. We're looking forward to it, and we'll be ready for the kickoff right after this.
As the owner of a small vineyard myself, I'm rather envious of what my friends Ernest and Julio Gallo have achieved. Their new French Colombard of California is bound to be most popular. It's elegantly dry, and yet with a hint of sweetness. I urge you to try it. It'll surely be one of the finest wines you have ever tasted. New French Colombard from Ernest and Julio Gallo, a richly rewarding experience. Yes.
This New York Life team did it, and now my family has financial security. Great game, Frank. Thank you. When I think back to the kind of life insurance protection you gave me, it was terrific. I mean, you guys really went all out. The way you blocked out money problems showed me how to do it. Kept the worry off my back. I mean, New York Life, you're great.
Where the name of the game is life, there's New York Life.
Shell's been producing oil from Cook Inlet for 8 years now. Back in 1967, we began injecting water into this oil field. It costs more money, but thanks to the added push of the water, we're able to get more oil. At Shell, we're working hard to supply energy, and we know that you're doing your best to use it wisely.
Shell, people working with energy.
Being honored as the Rams' outstanding receiver 2 years in a row was a great moment for me. That was a great moment in my career. Now I'd like to introduce you to another great moment. Victor Dominguez was born with a spinal defect that left him with legs so weak he couldn't walk. Through a United Way agency, the outlook is brighter for Victor. There are a lot of great moments in life, and you can share in them when you support your local United Way. The United Way. Thanks to you, it's working.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. And back in Candlestick Park, San Francisco, California, is the Los Angeles Rams going against the San Francisco 49ers. And you're looking at the quarterback for the 49ers, young Tom Owen, who got his start a couple of weeks ago, and a fine performance against these same Los Angeles Rams in a losing effort, 37-14. But he looked good in doing so. Heading set to kick off for the San Francisco 49ers is number 13, Tom Whittam, who will also do the punt. Deep, number 32, Cullen Bryant, second in the National Football Conference in returns with a 30-yard average, and Willie McGee. About to get underway, no love lost between these two teams. The Rams way out in front of the Western Division of the National Football Conference. If you will, the 49ers fighting for their conference, for their divisional life.
Well, the ball blew off the tee, Frank. Let's quickly tell the folks a special treat at halftime tonight. A special interview with the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali, on split screen. He from Chicago, your reporter from right here in Candlestick Park.
Wind gusting, as you saw a moment ago, 18 to 25 miles an hour. And at the 7-yard line, it's Willie McGee. Big haul, and McGee is over the 35. He's out to the 38, tripped up there by Mike Holmes. Willie McGee. Quickly, the offensive unit for the Los Angeles Rams. At quarterback, James Harris, a 5-year man who got his start only 2 weeks ago. The two setbacks are Lawrence McCutcheon, number 30, 45, Jim Bertelson. The wide receivers are 84, Jack Snow, and Harold Jackson, number 29. The tight end is number 80, Bob Klein. The Rams, good field position following the kickoff return by McGee. They move from their own 39-yard line. Lawrence McCutcheon turning the corner on the left side, getting a block out in front from Charlie Cowan. A good veteran offensive line for these Los Angeles Rams. 64 years of experience. Cowan and Williams are the tackles. The center is Ken Iman with 14 years experience. The guards are Mack and Chabelli. McCutcheon picks up a couple of yards. Second down and 8 for the Rams. Lance Briscoe brings the play in to James Harris from the bench for the Rams. James Harris, 6'4", 225 pounds. Ball to 41. Harris going quickly out to Jackson. He has it, but not enough for a first down. He's out of bounds, just short of the 47-yard line. Taken there by Jimmy Johnson, the left cornerback of the 49ers. Defensively for that front four of the 49ers, we'll have number 56, Bob Hoskins, and number 72, Bill Belk at tackles. The ends are 86, Cedric Hardman, number 53, Tommy Hart. Third down and 3 as you look at the linebackers. Nunley's in the middle, 57, Wilcox, one outside linebacker, 64, Willie Hawker, number 59, the other. Third down, now call it 3, the ball at the 46. Harris going to Bertelson, incomplete, covered out there by Willie Harper.
Well, Jamie Harris overthrew his receiver at that one. He had him in the open. Alex, I'm going to be looking at Jamie with a great deal of interest tonight. I go back with him a long way. He quarterbacked a Grambling team in '68 when I did a documentary called 100 Yards to Glory. And he is a quarterback because of his coach there, Eddie Robinson. We'll develop more of that later.
Mike Burke punts for the Rams. Taken there by Ralph McGill, and McGill turns it upfield. He's out to the 20-yard line, goes down. A flag also goes down as McGill regains his feet and moves out to the 36. 44-yard punt by Mike Burke, first-year man out of Miami, of Florida. Waiting for the official's call. The flag is down at the 20. That's a clipping, and it'll go against the 49ers. That'll move them back half the distance to the goal. So for the 49ers, offensively, we'll see young Tom Owen, the rookie from Wichita, who got his first start a couple of weeks ago. We've already told you the 49ers have had injury problems. They lost Steve Spurrier, who was scheduled to regain his feet and moves out to the 36. 44-yard punt by Mike Burke, first-year man out of Miami, of Florida. Waiting for the official's call. The flag is down at the 20. That's a clipping, and it'll go against the 49ers. That'll move them back half the distance to the goal. So for the 49ers, offensively, we'll see young Tom Owen, the rookie from Wichita, who got his first start a couple of weeks ago. We've already told you the 49ers have had injury problems. They lost Steve Spurrier, who was scheduled to be their starting quarterback, replacing the veteran John Brody a week before the season started. Owen starts tonight. His setbacks go over Jackson, Larry Schreiber. Jackson, number 40, Schreiber 35, the wide receivers. 46, Abramowitz, 18, Gene Washington, Tom Mitchell, 84, the tight end. The stacked backfield. And they run from it. This is Wilbur Jackson playing with a sore knee, which he injured last week against the Oakland Raiders. He gets about a yard. The offensive line for the 49ers. Forrest Blue is the anchor man at center, number 75. The guards are Watson, 67. Peoples, 69. No, Peoples will not be in there tonight. It's Randy Beisler, 65. Kaz Banaszak, 79. Lynn Rohde, 76 for the tackles. And that is the front four they'll run against. Second overall in the National Football Conference in defense. Second down and 8. Just underway from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Owen with the play fake. Big rush, fires for Washington, and Washington holds on. A flag goes down, and referee Bob Frederick says it's good. And here is Washington coming deep, working against Eddie McMillan.
And this is the kind of throwing, as you look at this, that we saw Owen do against Oakland a week ago. Even though Oakland came on to win because of a series of errors, you saw the flag thrown there, committed by the 49ers, fumble, a key fumble being one, and an offside by Tom Mitchell when San Francisco was ready to score being another. Owen impressed us with his continuity of physical presence.
44-yard pickup. Owen to Washington. The ball is at the 43-yard line of the Rams. No scores. Schreiber trying the left side, having a few problems there on the left side. He gets about a yard.
You know, here's Freddie Dreyer, number 89, the right defensive end for the L.A. Rams, putting a lot of pressure on the young rookie quarterback. And this is what he really has to worry about. This is the pass to Washington. And, you know, he's going to get frustrated if they're going to put pressure on him like that all night. I'll tell you that.
You know, Alex, he's not big, Fred Dreyer, but he is extremely quick. He's listed at 240, and I'll bet he's not over 230 or 225.
He's also a pretty flaky kid, as you know, Frank. We had a lot of fun with him in New York.
Schreiber got a yard. It'll be second down and 9. The ball at the 42-yard line of the Rams. Schreiber gets the call again. Ooh, is he hit hard there by Larry Brooks, number 90. Larry Brooks is having his best year with his front four, the Los Angeles Rams. That also includes Dreyer, whom we saw a moment ago. Merlin Olsen, he's having his average here, which is pretty great for Merlin. But what he does is help a young man named Jack Youngblood, number 85. When you play next to Merlin Olsen, Alex, as you well know, a good tackle can make a great defensive end.
That's right. I told him everything he knows, Frank.
And he's performing rather well, as he has over 13 years, Merlin Olsen. It'll be third down now. Call it a long 8. The ball just inside the 42. Heading out to the right, a close look at Tom Owen, the rookie from Wichita. Time to throw the ball, and he drills it to Washington, in and out of his hands. And we've been told the one thing that Owen has a problem with, he throws the short ones like he throws a fly pattern. He throws everything all out.
All right, let's look at this again. You're looking at Washington. Whether the ball was thrown too hard or not is a moot question. Gene has dropped a few this year, to the surprise and consternation of many 49er fans. You saw that. It was right in there. He dropped a big one, as a matter of fact, last week against Oakland. And Gene, nonetheless, remains one of the prized receivers in the NFL. It can happen to anybody.
I said that he throws it hard, as witnessed by Terry Beasley. I saw his hands in Detroit 3 weeks ago, and they were bruised from catching Tom Owen. He drills everything. All right, Tom Whittam leading the National Football Conference in punting. He's kicking to Dave Elmendorf and Jim Bertelsen. And whistles blow, and a flag goes down.
The left end, number 27, was in motion. He shouldn't. He took a step up. He shouldn't have. He just should have held his ground, and he took a step up. I think that's good. Oh, what is this?
Replay, fourth down, apparently offsetting calls.
Never heard of that before.
We'll try and tell you what is offsetting.
You're 1 for 1, Alex.
Sounds like we're back in the Olympics. Russia, U.S. for the gold medal. 42 is Elmendorf. Bertelsen, 45. Tom Whittam. Fine punter. Into the end zone, touchback. 41-yard punt by Tom Whittam. No score from Candlestick Park. A look at Gene Washington on the bench. We'll be back in San Francisco after this message.
At the sign of the cat, you'll find Lincoln Mercury's hottest-selling new entry in 14 years, Mercury Monarch. We think it's the greatest.
I didn't know that.
The precision-sized Monarch ES 256 is engineered for 18 to 26 miles per gallon under highway conditions, 14 to 18 under city conditions.
That's something to think about.
Monarch sticker prices, including white walls, start under $3,800. Delivery, dealer prep, title, and taxes extra. Mercury Monarch.
It's cool at the sign of the cat.
There's a better way. Get Texas Instruments 1500 Pocket Calculator. It instantly adds, subtracts, multiplies, and divides. Makes percentages easy. Puts decimals in the right places. Has an automatic constant, it's rechargeable, and you can afford it. So you'll always have the answers right in your pocket. Texas Instruments. Dependable, quality calculators for home, school, business, science. You.
That's my man, Giffer, as you know. Chuck Knox, out of Juniata College. The man who forged the Jets' offensive wall that protected Namath in the brilliant upset Super Bowl victory, January 12, 1969. The man who went to your club, Alex, and did the same thing there.
It's funny how they gain experience in Detroit and go on to become winners.
Rams take over first and 10. They move from their own 20. Quick handoff there to Lawrence McCutcheon. I called him Larry at the top of the show. His brother wouldn't like that because Lawrence's brother is Larry.
Well, I thought Larry should be Lawrence. I don't understand that.
There's a problem with names in the family. It's that simple.
In any event, he gets 8 yards. It'll be second down and 2.
Remember, going into the game, needed 56 to pass O.J. Simpson for the rushing lead in the NFL.
This is Bertelsen. He has the first down over the 30 to the 31-yard line.
There's Dick Nolan, our old friend from White Plains High School, Gift, the man who displaced you with the Giants.
Howard, you're never going to get that straight. You keep saying that. He did not displace me. I just found out it was just, it was just a little better on offense.
The man who succeeded.
Indeed, he came up from Maryland. People said he couldn't play football. He's had 6 fine years in the National Football League. First and 10 now for the Rams. John Capoletti now is in, number 22, last year's Heisman Award winner. Harris in trouble. And the big man finds Jack Snow. Snow across the 40-yard line of the 49ers.
That, of course, is what Jamie Harris can do for you. He's an exceedingly mobile quarterback, a very strong runner. And let's look at it again in slow motion. The Rams have impressed everybody. Watch Jack run his pattern now as a slumbering giant all year long. They've only been explosive on one occasion 2 weeks ago against this 49er team. There's Jack all alone by this time. Harris has rolled out, escaping would-be sackers, and he hits Jack very, very easily.
McCutcheon gets the call on first down. He gets about a yard and a flag flies. Cedric Hardman in on the tackle.
What Chuck Knox is hoping is that suddenly his team will put it all together, Alex, because obviously they do have the great personnel that won 12 and lost 2 a year ago. Hadel was the NFC Player of the Year a year ago. He gave the Rams a brilliant first half, fell off in the second half, and seemed to be struggling this year when they benched him for Jamie Harris a couple of weeks back for that San Francisco game already referred to. The penalty faced off, Gift.
Holding against the Rams. And, of course, when Hadel went to Green Bay, the Rams picked up more draft picks than the Washington Redskins don't have.
And I'll tell you another thing. The most underrated offensive line in football today is the L.A. Rams' line. They've been together for years, and they're a fine bunch of guys. Joe Scabelli, the right guard, I played against many, many years. He's a good one.
First and 20 following the 10-yard penalty. The holding call going to Capoletti. Harris with a lot of time and a strong arm, and Jack Snow dropped it.
How about that, Alex? Right in there.
Come on, Jack, catch those.
Cedric Hardman pressuring James Harris, but he had time to get rid of it. Sully Cowan blocking against Hardman. And let's look at Snow. He's working against Bruce Taylor in perfect position, finding a little gap between the safety man and the cornerback. Harris right on target. Drills it in. Jack just does not hold on. Harris is big. He's 6'4". He's programmed to 215. He actually weighs about 225 pounds. Second down and 20. The ball right at midfield. McCutcheon on the draw play, and he slips and goes down right at the line of scrimmage.
So far, Alex, that defensive front four that you referred to at the top of the game, the San Francisco is doing pretty well.
Well, you know, I hope they do well, but as I said before, in the last 2 games, they haven't showed me too much, Howard. I'm glad that they're getting it together again. They've really tailed off.
Well, it's early yet. The Rams' running game is tough to contain throughout the entire 60 minutes.
We'll see the ball in the air in all likelihood. James Harris on a third down and 20. The big man. Keep in mind, if he can't find a receiver, he is a good runner. Strong. Time to throw. Gets it off. And Harold Jackson has it, and he picks up the first down. Harold Jackson, the Rams' leading receiver, 17 receptions on the year. And remember this man from last year, what an incredible season he had. He had that one big game against national television when he caught those 4 touchdown passes and gained 238 yards in a single game.
And when you do that against the Dallas secondary, you're really doing something.
There he is, originally a Ram. Howard went to Philadelphia, of course, and came back and has been sensational. From the 19-yard line of the 49ers, still no score from Candlestick Park. Lawrence McCutcheon over the left side. He'll get a couple of yards, moving down to the 25-yard line.
I'm sorry, Jeff. That pass to Jackson was the second straight one thrown in the area of Bruce Taylor. San Francisco plays only a one-on-one or man-for-man defense, and I must say there was an interesting piece in the Chronicle this morning claiming that Nolan should go to his own. Let's talk about that later, Giff.
Right now it's second down and 7. This is Bertelsen, and Bertelsen cutting back, runs into a whole bunch of traffic. The first man to pop him was Frank Nunley. Wendland Hall came up from his secondary position. We'll tell you, too, about Wendland Hall. He's laying out of position tonight. He replaces Mel Phillips for the 49ers, who ordinarily would be the strong safety. Phillips was playing with a broken right arm. Last week, he broke his left arm. And a rookie is at the free safety. That's number 20, Mike Holmes. But there he is, Wendland Hall. His third down and 5. Bertelsen getting a couple. Full of snow with the 2 wide receivers. Harris with a man wide open. Complete out there to Bertelson. He has the first down. He's inside the 15, a gain of 9. Willie Harper out there covering as Bertelson appears to be shaken up. Jim Bertelson, the third-year man out of Texas, whom Darrell Royal said he's the best football player I ever coached.
Did Darrell say that?
Indeed he did.
He's coached some pretty great ones.
Right now, Bertelson is hurt. He can do a lot of things for you. He runs back the punts, does the blocking, good receiver.
Freddie Dreyer, your kind of guy, Alex.
Yeah, he's a toughie. He's a toughie. He doesn't tape up his socks, he tacks them up.
He's a toughie, and look what he's doing with his thumb.
He's sucking it. Freddie, you're supposed to be tough, kid.
First and 10. The ball is at the 19. The Rams with the first sustained march of the night. John Cappelletti, the Heisman Award winning rookie from Penn State.
Well, they're here from all over.
Many of them are here to see the youngsters that will perform in the punt, pass, and kick contest at halftime. And we will be having a young gal competing for the first time here at halftime.
Now, Koch is pretty as clever, Cosell. You notice how we're always the trailer, Frank?
Don't be
Never
better.
did like the Billy. On 2nd and 6, the ball goes to Lawrence McCutcheon. And McCutcheon moves down very close to the 5-yard line.
Now they're beginning to penetrate that line.
It's the second best rushing team in the National Football Conference. And that, of course, one of the principal reasons why. Lawrence McCutcheon now moving over to the sidelines.
Well, already they look alive tonight against the Jets a week ago yesterday. They really look sluggish.
Tony Baker is into the lineup as McCutcheon goes to the sidelines. He's in there along with John Cappelletti, the big boys, on 3rd down, a long one. Cappelletti with a good move. And Cappelletti, I believe, has the first down.
I remember the surprise in the drafting room early this year, February, when the Rams drafted Cappelletti. Everybody gasped. Why take Cappelletti, they said, with all the great running backs L.A. already has. Klosterman, the general manager, said, when it comes time for us to draft, we're going to take the best athlete available, period. And he thinks Cappelletti was exactly that and has a tremendous future as a pro.
First down and goal. The ball is at the 3-yard line. Cappelletti. Baker remains the setback. This is Cappelletti. This time he will not get in. Great performance last year at Penn State. Over 1,500 yards rushing there. And hard to break into a backfield like the Rams had last year with McCutcheon and Bertelson.
They got hidden power on the bench, and Cullen Bryant, drafted a year ago as a defensive back, unleashed as a running back, converted this year. He was awesome during the preseason, then suffered some minor injuries that have temporarily curtailed his usefulness.
5 minutes remaining in the first quarter is scoreless. Second down from the 2, and Tony Baker gets the call, and Tony Baker is really nailed.
Touchdown, Tony.
Hit by Bill Belk and really popped.
Well, this is a very good stand for the San Francisco defense, and it's about time because, you know, as we've talked about the last 2 weeks, they've just been porous. That's a beautiful word, isn't it, Art?
Not too bad. Touchdown, Tony, they call them. They have them for those in-tight situations. Poor Dick.
Third down, and it's what you call your basic inside situation.
Well, he's much older than you, Frank.
Dick Nelson looking on. He's in a different profession. And Tony Baker, as Howard said, touchdown. Tony Baker gets into the end zone. The Rams moving out in front. Tony Baker's traveled around, too. He's been down in New Orleans for a while, went to Philadelphia, dropped back to the Rams. 80 yards, 15 plays.
Beautiful drive. Shoot up the clock. 7 minutes, 58 seconds of it. We've got 4:22 left in the first quarter. The way that it should be done.
Last year's leading scorer in the NFL, David Ray, comes on for the conversion. David Ray will run. He's going to go all the way, folks. No way. He did not make it. David Ray scored that way last year. This time he did not make it as Willie Harper Cook, David Ray.
Now, there's an athlete. It took him 5 minutes to cut the corner.
You know, they had one situation like that in the first game against KC a year ago, and the hold it in, Steve Priest took it in, but not this time.
4:22 remaining in the first quarter.
Okay, everybody, let's go.
Give your children Tonka toys and you've started something. They're fun and they last. So very few families who have Tonka toys have only one. In fact, the average is 7 per family. Now, honestly, when was the last time you parents were so happy with a product you wanted to have 6 more of them?
I'm a lineman. I depend on my car to get to work. Sometimes the weather is 20, 25 below. I never use anything but Prestone 2 winter-summer protection.
Only Prestone 2 has a patented silicone silicate formula, the Prestone inhibitor system. Shields and preserves metal against rust and corrosion. Winter, summer, count on it. If you can't trust Prestone, who can you trust?
It does the job for me.
Don't forget, folks, at halftime, I'll be talking with the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. He in our Chicago studios as he talks about the brilliant victory on Tuesday night past over George Foreman in Zaire, Central Africa.
And, of course, we'll be hearing from Muhammad at halftime. But the Rams missed the conversion. Steve Priest, the holder, could not handle it. David Ray set the kickoff. He'll kick deep to Mike Holmes, number 20, Manfred Moore, number 45. And Manfred Moore, the rookie from Southern California, takes it at the 9-yard line. He's belted at the 25, but hurdles forward to the 32. Settled there by Bill Simpson. Well, Steve Priest is the holder for the Rams on their conversion. Let's take a look at the action of a moment ago. Priest, the safety man. Well, it was a bad snap from center. Ray picks it up, and we mentioned that last year he was able to run one in, but Willie Harper just had too much foot for him. But the 49ers down by 6, 4:14 remaining in the first quarter, will move from their own 31. Oh, and the quarterback, Jackson, 40, Schreiber, 35, the setback. Wilbur Jackson, running the corner, running into Freddie Dreyer. Dave Elmendorf, the safety man, coming up to
let's take
Jackson inside.
Should we take another look, Gipper, at the touchdown by Baker? Good old touchdown, Tony. Here we go, Alex.
Well, there's some good blocking up there. Of course, Charlie Cohen, Tom Mack, Ken Iman, Joe Scabelli, the guy I talk about and played against. He does a fine job, and he cuts right back. Tony Baker goes in for the touchdown. Not a beautiful play, but they get the job done. That's a beautiful story. 6 points.
Second down. Wilbur Jackson just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Owen with both backs out, and he ducks away from one Ram, but down he goes. A lot of pressure, and Harry Brooks roared by Tom Owen as if he wanted to take his head off. Owen got under that, but slipped and went down. He'll lose 4.
You know, you can help Owen, like we've been talking before, Howard. You can help him by sending in plays for him, but you sure can't help him as far as him recognizing defenses and, of course, changing the play in the line of scrimmage. And that's one of the things that young quarterbacks have problems with.
And right now, Alex, we have that situation where all those Ram linemen will turn it all loose. Coming into this game, they got to the opposition quarterbacks 24 times, as opposed to the 49ers only reaching their opposition quarterbacks 5 times. And they really let it go. And down he goes. Freddie Dreyer was there first. Freddie Dreyer beating the block of Lynn Rohde. Freddie Dreyer is really quick.
Well, Frank, like I said, Freddie Dreyer is not a big guy, but he's very, very quick. And here he goes right now, beating the offensive tackle, number 76. Going right around him, catching Owens on the leg, and down Owens goes. And he better go down. There's 2 other guys right with him, along with Merlin Olsen.
On 4th down, Tom Whittam, averaging a little over 44 yards a kick for the year. Leading the NFC comes in. He'll kick to Bertelson, 45, or rather Elmendorf, 42, and Rob Scribner, number 33. And that one almost got away from Whittam, but he gets off a beauty. Elmendorf at his own 34. Good coverage by the 49ers. Mike Matega down there, and the Rams will move from their own 35-yard line. We'll be back in Candlestick Park right after this message.
Lousy alarm clock, lousy traffic. I suppose I have to wait for a ticket. I blew it, right?
All right, where are you going?
Chicago?
By the time our United ticket agent hits that computer, we'll have a ticket in your hands in 10 seconds. What a difference that can make.
You're on your way.
Already?
Uh-huh.
The spirit of United's friendship service. It's catching.
I caught it.
The friendly skies of your life. Spirit catching on United Airlines.
I'm a sports nut, and the thing I can't stand is the grass in the football field looking blue. I've had 3 or 4 color television sets, and Zenith is the first color television set that I've had where the colors are perfect.
In a nationwide survey, more Zenith owners said they'd buy the same brand again than did the owners of any other color TV. Listen to the experts. Choose Zenith Solid State Chromacolor 2.
Well, Mr. Tom Owen is getting his equipment fixed, probably made necessary by the sack of a couple of moments ago. 1 for 2, 44 yards. And now the Rams go on the offensive again. Let's see if Mr. Harris can engineer another drive. Yep.
Moving from their own 30, 2:26 remaining in the first quarter. The Rams out front 6-0. Ball goes to Lawrence McCutcheon, and McCutcheon spinning and twisting, gets a fast whistle. And Lawrence McCutcheon did not want to go down.
Wilcox was all over him. Number 64, Dave Wilcox, so often an old pro, but laboring a bit this year because he hasn't fully recovered from knee surgery.
Tough dude. We saw him early in the year when most people would have been in a wheelchair. He was out there trying to play and has played himself back into condition. Now on 2nd down and 8, Capoletti gets the call. A flag flies, and Capoletti turns down the sidelines, but again, a flag is down. Flag is down back at the line of scrimmage as Capoletti is finally taken by Wyman Hall, 43, and Taylor, 44. It is going to be brought back.
Beautiful but wasted run.
Holding, Rams.
Well, now we'll probably see Jamie Harris put it up. I mentioned before that he became a quarterback because of Eddie Robinson. Harris had had many offers from many major universities and colleges. But he went to Grambling because Eddie Robinson wanted to play him at the quarterback position, which had been his position in high school. The other schools wanted to convert him to another position.
The holding call goes against Bob Klein, the tight end for the Rams. It's 2nd down and 18. The ball is at the 27. The draw play goes to McCutcheon, and McCutcheon picks up a couple of yards before he's hit by Frank Nunley, the middle linebacker.
The linebackers are closing those gaps fast, Alex.
Well, they're going to have to, and they know it.
All right, it'll be 3rd down. 15. Earlier in this quarter, we saw Harris come with the draw play. That didn't work. He went back to his wide receiver, coming clear across the field. Now, out to the left, top of your screen is Harold Jackson. Lance Brentford is the other receiver. You cannot see him, bottom of your screen. Going for Jackson, and he has him again. Not a bad throw, Gifford. Out of bounds.
He called it out. Look at Chuck Knox.
Out of bounds. Covered there by Bruce Taylor.
So what is Charlie saying on the sideline, folks?
Oh, he's hot.
Look at Charlie. Go ahead, Charlie. Tell him about it.
Let's watch Harold Jackson now. What you really have to do is watch his speed, and that's what Bruce Taylor had to do because Harold Jackson can really move. And you saw the room. Well, that's why coaches look a little older. On 4th down, we'll put it in the air. There's the low one coming back. This is Miguel. And Miguel back to the 37-yard line. taking Mike Burke's kick. Getting down there to make the stop quickly was Cullen Bryant.
Let's see if Jackson was in bounds on this one. Now let's see what
call.
Let's see what Chuck Knox is saying now.
1 foot in. Now let's look. 1 foot's in. Now let's get it down there. Well, what do you say to that, Alex?
He was definitely in bounds.
49ers from their 37-yard line. No wonder Chuck was hot. Owen dumps it off to Schreiber. First down, Schreiber. Hit by Eddie McMillan, but Schreiber has the first down, a gain of 12.
Now this is an old way to tackle, ladies and gentlemen. This is called the old cross-body tackle, which I didn't use too much of, because what happens is that you can really crack your ribs very easily here. And in order to stay in the league longer, you shouldn't be doing things like this, but he does a good job on that one. That's old McMillan, number 41.
Second-year man out of Florida State. First and 10 for the 49ers. And the ball just short of their own 48-yard line. Dell Williams, number 24, is in a one setback as the gun sounds, ending the first quarter. And that is the end of the first quarter. Los Angeles leading San Francisco 6-0. We'll be back.
Of all the small, gas-stingy imports, our sexiest is Capri, the sexy European. And the only place you can buy a new Capri.
Is that the sign of the cat?
Of all the elegant luxury cars, our most elegant are the new 75 Lincoln Continental Town Coupe and Mark IV. And the only place you can buy a new Continental.
Is that the sign of the cat?
Of all the luxurious personal cars, our most personal is Mercury Cougar XR7. And the only place you can buy a new Cougar.
Is that the sign of the cat?
Of all the small luxury cars, our most luxurious is the new precision-size Mercury Monarch Coupe. And the only place you can buy a new Monarch.
Is that the sign of the cat?
Capri, Continental, Mark IV, Cougar, Monarch. Only one place can put these 5 sexy cars together. Your Lincoln Mercury dealer. He's a pretty sexy guy.
We knew that.
A successful field goal is one of my great moments. That was a great moment in my career, but now I'd like to introduce you to another great moment. This is Anthony Jackson. He learned to study and to care about his life at a community house. Today, he gives back what he received by teaching. There are a lot of great moments in life, and you can share them when you support your local United Way. The United Way, thanks to you, it's working.
John Williams, the one newcomer to the Rams' veteran offensive line a year ago. The Rams gave up a first draft choice for him in a trade with Baltimore. Why? Because the former Baltimore general manager Klosterman and owner Rosenblum, moving over to L.A., knew his quality. He's doing some job for the Rams.
49ers trailing 6-0. Move from their own 48-yard line. Owen hands off to Jackson. And Jackson turning the corner, showing good running style, picks up 4 yards inside the Ram territory. He's at the 48. Jack Youngblood and Isaiah Robertson there. Last week, Wilbur Jackson hurt his knee against the Oakland Raiders, and he was questionable all week. But he is learning what you must learn as a pro football player, and that is how to play hurt a little bit. First quarter stats. Rams led 105 yards to 46. And leading on the scoreboard 6-0. Second down, call it a long 5. Jackson again. Turning the corner. Ooh, and he takes Charlie Stoops.
Well, I got to be honest. I like Charlie Stoops. He's not bad on pass coverage.
Looking out for Abramowitz, and he drops the ball. You won't see that happen by Danny Abramowitz very often. He's not fast. He gets open well, and he seldom drops the ball.
He's a glue-fingered fella. A lot like your friend Howie Twilley, Alex.
That's right, Mr. Snail.
Danny Abramowitz has caught a pass, at least one pass, in 98 consecutive games. And, boy, if he doesn't get another shot tonight, he'll look back on that one because he most certainly should have had it.
He's a good-looking guy, Mr. Alphabets.
He'll play with you a little, too. Second down. Oh, and Freddie Dryer says, oh, why did I do that? Flag fly. Freddie Dryer, top of your screen. I'm sure you saw it. Got a little mad at himself. Freddie Dryer, as he said, is not too big, but he is quick and he likes to get the jump on the offensive tackle. Well, he was drawn off.
He was drawn offside, Frank.
I told you he was quick. Good recovery, Giff.
That's one for the referees and none for Frank.
Illegal procedure. And called against Tom Owen, who is pulled away from the center. So the penalty goes against the 49ers. Second down and 15. Ball at the 47 of the Rams. Jackson gets a little hole, and he runs into the 13-year veteran Merlin Olsen.
You can't draw on Merlin Olsen. He's one of those old-timers. He knows every play in the book.
Made the Pro Bowl every year he's been in the National Football League.
And you are looking at him in his last year of action, I suspect.
What's he going to do, run for Congress or something?
No, he's going to become a broadcaster.
Good.
Well, there goes my coat again.
I like it. Third down and 14. The ball at the 46 of the Rams. Owen, again, will get that pressure, that front four, and look at him come. There he goes. Oh, boy. Larry Brooks took the ball right out of his hand and recovered by Ken Geddes. But Larry Brooks roared through, took the ball right out of Owen's hands, and it was recovered by Ken Geddes. Take a look at number 90 if we can follow him. He comes in right of your screen. Oh, and I don't believe I ever saw him. There he goes. He knocks the ball loose. Now there's Geddes, who was questionable this week. He had a bad leg, but he comes up with the fumble. Good field position for the Rams.
I love that, Brooks, out of Virginia State. In his third year, 14th round draft choice. What a surprise.
The ball is at the 37-yard line of the 49ers. Rams out in front, 6-0. Play fake by Harris. Oh, and Harris trying to drill the ball to Jack Snow in between two linebackers. And Snow was not even looking for it. He was looking for a wrap in the head.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that, Frank. Snow didn't even look at the ball right now. He's looking at the linebacker who's coming over with him. No, it's the back, and he's a little scared, a little leery of that linebacker.
I'll tell you, that's Willie Harper, and Jack, I think, is more concerned with Willie Harper than he was with that ball. Hi, guys.
They almost kissed.
Second down and 10. Ball's at the 37. Capoletti following McCutcheon around the right side. Capoletti inside the 30. Goes down at the 28. ABC will bring you a full afternoon of exciting NCAA college football action this week with a first Saturday doubleheader. You'll be seeing one of four top regional football games at 12:30 Eastern Time as Ohio State meets Michigan State. Vanderbilt takes on Kentucky. Arizona State is at Brigham Young. New Mexico State versus Tulsa. Plus a key nationally televised game as LSU meets unbeaten Alabama at 4 Eastern Time. That's ABC college football doubleheader this Saturday. Be sure to consult your local listings for the time of the game in your area.
That's the cherubic middle linebacker, or cherubic in your terms, Alex. Frank Nunley got some quick treatment, trotting off the field now. I look forward to seeing that Alabama team in that nationally televised game, Gipper. LSU has had tough going this season, but they're always up for the Crimson Tide, and the Big Bear almost lost one to Florida State, which has been suffering for a long time. Remember that 8-7 contest won by the men of the Big Bear in just the final minutes?
Hope the Bears watch him because one of the future superstars in the NFL is performing tonight for the 49ers. Regardless of their record, Wilbur Jackson has a great future ahead of him. Frank Nunley is replaced by a rookie linebacker from Penn State, Tom Hall, number 54. Capoletti gets the call. Flag is down. Flag goes down at the line of scrimmage. Capoletti got the call on the 3rd and 2. Offside, 49ers. Rams will have a first down inside the 25 of the 49ers. They lead 6-0 as we look at my former teammate, Dick Nolan. Led the 49ers to the only titles they ever won in 70, 71, and 72. Came unglued last year, were 5-9, and having his problems this year.
Suffering this year.
A lot of injuries. John Brody, the great 49er quarterback, retired this past year. Spurrier was set to take over. He had proven he could do that in 72 when he threw 18 touchdown passes. And Spurrier dislocated his shoulder the week before the season started. Been downhill ever since. First down. The ball is at the 23. Rams moving. Harris firing it and caught by Bob Klein. He'll go in. Beautiful execution. Bob Klein, the big tight end. Only 10 receptions coming into tonight's game. Scores from 23 yards out. And I will not say that Bob Klein is in his 6th year out of USC.
Well, I know that would come up.
You know, he's really a super blocker, but every now and then they turn him loose. And he's working against Winland Hall, by the way, who is playing a tight safety, replacing Mel Phillips, the regular tight safety. All right, David Ray for the conversion. Well, I don't believe it. 2 in a row. This time he just missed it. The Rams take a 12-0 lead as David Ray misses to the right. We'll be back at Candlestick Park right after this message.
Every winter, it's a battle against the elements. And you need all the help you can get. You need the Sears steel-belted radial snow tire. So when your neighborhood streets turn against you, you can fight back with a unique multi-ankle tread that digs in to help stop you. A tread with over 2,000 gripping edges that help you get started again with a sure foot. And when that expressway drive becomes a snowy ordeal, you'll have a radial design and 2 steel belts for strength and traction. The Sears steel-belted radial snow tire. Because in the battle against winter, you need all the help you can get. Snow-gripping radial design, 2 steel belts, and a deep biting tread. The Sears steel-belted radial snow tire. Only at Sears.
Felix's daughter runs away to follow her idol, singer Paul Williams, on The Odd Couple, Thursday at 8, 7 Central, here on ABC.
Well, one of the Niner Nuggets cheerleaders here, lovely ladies, most of them.
I just love those lovely ladies, Howard.
I want to see that touchdown play again, which we will after the kickoff, because I want you to see how Mr. Hall was trying to help out in a situation.
Number 27, David Ray, set to kick to Mike Holmes, Manfred Moore, and this will be Mike Holmes, a rookie from Texas Southern. And Holmes moving out to the 35-yard line, hit there by Bill Simpson, a 25-yard return.
Well, they better mount a drive in a hurry before the game gets out of hand, Giffer. Now let's take another look at that touchdown peg from number 12. Giffer, suppose you explain to them how you can't pin the blame on Hull.
Hull, as Alex and I were discussing earlier, was probably going to the hook zone into the flat, and he was trying to help out against Bob Klein. And Bob Klein goes in, as you see, from 23 yards out.
Oh, boy.
Bob Scribner goes off. Number 33.
He is a good special team man,
yes,
Alex.
He is.
He threw a block earlier that we didn't get back to because it was really irrelevant to the play. But he hit.
First and 10. The ball is at the 35. 49ers trailing 12-0. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, Alex Karras. Owen, good play fake. Owen trying to go to Mitchell and unloads it, and he is unloaded on by number 85, Jack Youngblood.
Youngblood is a positive stallion. A few years back at the College All-Star game, Before the game was played, we were out there to help cover it. Talking with all of the coaches who'd been watching the All-Stars work out, they agreed that this was the best athlete on the team. And he's proved out in the NFL. Tough.
And again, he has to his inside Merlin Olsen, so he doesn't really have to worry about a whole lot of run responsibility. It's 2nd down and 10. Owen now has gone down 3 times. This is Jackson, and he spins and twists. Gets a couple of yards out to the 38-yard line. Dick Nola trying to explain what went wrong on Klein's touchdown pass a moment ago. Speculation, and it's only speculation, would be that Wendell Hall, number 43, the strong safety, should have been there. 3rd down and 7. Al Clark now comes in as the 5th man in the secondary for the Rams. Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker, goes out. Ball at the 32, or the 37-yard line. A little over 10 minutes remaining in the first half. 49ers trailing 12-0. Owen goes for a Abramowitz. First down, he holds on.
Yeah, he wasn't going to drop that one. No way.
Stokes is still down over there, Howard. Abramowitz. And Owen connects. It'll be a first down for the 49ers at the 49-yard line of the Rams.
You like that one, Mike? We've got a star-studded audience here today, Gipper. Mike Douglas of the streets of San Francisco in the next booth, along with John Duke Wayne, Andy Williams, all disciples of Mungo.
Ken Venturi's here, too. Just came by and showed us his overlap grip.
And don't forget Jimmy Buttigieg. He's over here with me. Flew in from Detroit with me.
49ers moving. There's the 49 of the Rams. Owens going back to the makes it good. Mitchell down to the 32-yard line of the Rams. Hit there by Jack Reynolds. That shows me something. A minute ago, Tom Owen threw it away, intending to go to Mitchell in the same pattern. He came right back with it. Let's look at it again. Mitchell's job, of course, is to get in between linebackers, find the open hole, which he does perfectly, in between Geddes and Reynolds. First down, 49ers. They're at the 32. Schreiber around the left side, and Geddes Smith recovers to make the tackle, but Schreiber picks up 4 yards. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Right now, let's pause 5 seconds and allow our friends and local stations along the line to identify themselves. Second down and 7. Ball at the 29-yard line. Young Tom Owen, the rookie from Wichita, directing the attack. Oh, and down he goes again. It was Brooks in there hitting Tom Owen, and he really popped him, and Geddes could not hold on.
Told you that Brooks is too much. Hey, Frank, you ran down the NCAA games this weekend, the regionals, and I guess I should have embellished what you said about Ohio State against Michigan State.
Number 1, Ohio State.
Oh, the way they've been crushing everybody in sight is almost beyond belief. You put together 2 kids like Griffin and Corny Green and kind of the rest of the personnel that Woody has, it's hard to stop them from being number 1. But Michigan State, maybe they can give them a good game.
All right, John Watson, who had been blocking Larry Brooks, comes out. They'll try number 66 for a while, Bob Vincion. Comes in the left guard for the 49ers. It's third down and 7. And a flag goes down, and it usually means we're going to have a holding call.
Yep.
That pass was blocked. It had been intended. Well, at least it was thrown in the general area of Washington and was blocked. But a holding penalty will be called against the 49ers.
We've got 8:48 left in the second period. The Rams are leading 12-0. They bobbled one attempted conversion.
Kaz Banaszak, the guilty party for the 49ers.
Ray missed the second attempted conversion. Wait a minute here,
Penalty
Frank.
decline. Rams declining the penalty to bring up the 4th down.
I'm glad you said fantasy. Because we got a producer who considers
I
Vanessa.
wondered about them declining that because Bruce Gossett has kicked the ball from over 50 yards in his career a couple of times. He's attempting a 46-yarder. Now, that's what happened. That was just an error in judgment on the part of the Rams. They didn't think Gossett could make it. And indeed he did. The 49ers are on the scoreboard. 8:43 remaining in the first half. 12-3 Los Angeles.
When someone needs help at sea, they can't wait. Yeah, you're a volunteer, so you answer the call. You know, you only go around once. And for you, it's a gusto life when you can beat the sea and laugh about it later.
Come around, take the gusto life's giving. Come around, taste the gusto of Schmitz.
A few moments ago, there was a holding penalty against the 49ers. It was declined, and Bruce Gossett, who was set to kick off now, came in and kicked, or rather Tom Whittam will kick off for the 49ers, but Bruce Gossett hit from 46 yards out. Apparently, the Rams did not feel he could kick the ball that far. Whittam fixed it, hit one short to Pat Curran. Curran, the big tight end, lumbers over the 35 to the 38.
Lumbers is the word. We showed you a picture of Chuck Knox as Frank was talking about the judgment made by the Rams. It's hard to tell who made that decision to reject or decline the penalty. Marilyn Olsen, 74, the defensive team captain who you just saw, and there's Bruce Gossett who kicked it. Chuck Knox, the coach from the sidelines. In any event, the judgment was questionable in the light of subsequent events.
All right, Harris pitches out to Cappelletti. Cappelletti fighting and scrambling. He's over the 42. He drops the ball. Fumbles the ball, but the Rams recover. And they pick up a couple of yards on the recovery. Jack Snow over there very alertly picking up the fumble by Cappelletti. A gain of 6 every second down and 4. A moment ago, had the Rams taken that penalty, it would have meant there would have been a 3rd down and 17. They elected not to, so it was 4th down. 49ers hit from 46 yards out for 3 points. Cappelletti again getting the call over the right side. He's close to the 1st down. Out to the 48-yard line. Referee pops the top of his head. Says, I want a little referee's timeout. First down, they do not even need to measure.
I could have told him that, Frank.
Can't take your judgment anymore either.
Rams got on the scoreboard first. Tony Baker went in from 1 yard out. David Ray tried to run the conversion in after his bobble did not make it. This line scored from 23 yards out, and the conversion was missed. Harris, he's got a big arm. He's going for Jack. Harris with a flat-footed toss of about 55 yards. Jackson covered back there by Mike Holmes. A little help from his friend Bruce Taylor.
He was well covered back there.
Interesting story on Mike Holmes. He was a #1 draft pick of the 49ers a year ago and was hurt during the preseason. Good all-around athlete. Howard mentioned Cappelletti being an all-around athlete. This was a great athlete at Texas Southern University. Played split end, he played defense, did a little bit of everything, but he missed all of last season.
Tremendous speed.
It's 2nd down and 10. Rams moving from their own 48. And McCutcheon over the 50. Goes down at the 49. He picks up 3. Bob Hoskins, number 56. And on the tackle.
You know, Howard, you were talking about Nolan's problem going with that single, with the single coverage more than the zone coverage, and really...
Well, that's questionable. The column wrote that. The 49ers dispute it. But if they are using mainly single coverage, well, let's get back to the action. Then we can talk about it.
We'll see the ball in the air on 3rd down and 7. 2 wide receivers are in, Jack Snow and Lance Bristol, along with Harold Jackson, number 29. Harris dumps it off to McCutcheon. And a good open field tackle by Windland Hall. McCutcheon might have gotten one, but one of the tough things a safety man will ever have to do is to tackle a back like McCutcheon in the open field. The Rams will be punting.
That was a big tackle as we watch it again. And now we've got a big series coming up for San Francisco, as that defensive series for them was a big series. They changed things around with the field goal. Now they'll get the ball again, and they'll have a shot with 6:05 left in the half.
Dave Chappell ordinarily would kick for the Rams. He's not having a good year, so we're looking at Mike Burt. And he pops one. The fair catch is called for and made by Bruce Taylor at the 17-yard line. 5:52 remaining in the first half. L.A. is out in front of San Francisco, 12-3.
Over 15 million people are enjoying the closest thing to a perfect shave with the Gillette Track 2 razor.
Track 2 gets as close as I think a razor can get.
Well, I think the Track 2 is about the greatest razor I've ever used, sir.
Track 2 is like feeling his face. It's like peach fuzz.
I couldn't believe it. The first blade cuts, and then the second blade gets it before it gets back into the skin. If you don't believe me, come over and use mine first before you buy one.
The Gillette Track 2 shaving system, the closest thing to a perfect shave.
Dick Tracy, Wethead. Dick Tracy, the dry look. Clark Kent, Wethead. Clark Kent, the dry look. Shazam, Wethead. Shazam, the dry look.
The dry look makes a good guy look even better. And only Gillette has the adjustable valve to spray as light and dry as you like. So come on, hero. Get rid of that wet look. Get the dry look from Gillette. Aerosol, and now a liquid too.
Well, I wonder who's going to phone tonight. Actually, we did have a phone call a week ago from Muhammad Ali. He told us in Pittsburgh. He phoned Howard and said, I'm going to win.
He is the greatest.
Indeed, he did. And he'll be on with us at halftime. 5:52 remaining in the first half. 49ers own 17-yard line. Wilbur Jackson heading back, and Jackson's over the 20, out to the 22-yard line. Gain of 5. Hit there by Dave Elmendorf and Jack Reynolds. Bob Pinchion remains at offensive tackle for the 49ers, at offensive left tackle, number 66, where he is blocking against Larry Brooks. Larry Brooks had quite a first quarter with John Watson. So we've got a change. It'll be 2nd down and 6. They mark it just short of the 22. Driver gets the call. He moves over the left side. And he goes down after picking up a yard and a half.
All right, here's Brooks, number 90 here. He does a good job against Brooks. Just stays right with him, number 66. Yep.
That's Bob
doing a good job. The play is over, and he's still good. Bob Penchon. I wanted to say that, pronounce that. Bob Penchon.
Alcorn State, and brought in there to handle Larry Brooks. Not an easy job. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Ball short of the 25. Oh, and no place to put it. And he goes down. He'll lose a couple. And no receiver open. Hit there by Jim Geddes. Good coverage downfield by the Rams secondary.
Well, he couldn't take advantage. I like that young man from Wichita State, though, Alex Owen. However, if things continue in this vein, because this was a very important series to them to try and get back in the ball game more than they are, we may yet see Norm Snead.
He is not swift of foot, though, is he?
Tom Whittam will punt. Dave Elmendorf, 42. Bill Simpson, 48 are deep for the Rams. Clock moving. Inside 4 minutes. Off the side of Whittam's foot. And it takes a strong Los Angeles Ram bounce. It'll be down at the 49-yard line of the Rams.
You know, this year has been notable, folks, for the development of new powers in the National Football League. What better examples than the Bills of Buffalo, led by the Juice and Joe Ferguson, the Patriots of New England, and the St. Louis Cardinals, led by Don Coryell. What a game next Monday night. Those Cards against the Vikes.
Cappelletti tripped up as he moves over midfield down to the 48-yard line. Give Cappelletti a couple of yards. Rookie from Penn State seeing the most action he has seen all year. Coming into tonight's game, they'd only carried the ball 10 times.
Well, Bertelsen got shaken up earlier. It's not yet known if he'll return, and that's given John his opportunity, Jeff.
6'1", 217 pounds, John Cappelletti. But this is James Harris. He's 6'4", 225. And he throws it out to Lance Ritzel. And they're saying that Ritzel managed to keep his feet in bounds. And he must have, because you did not see a whole lot of griping on the part of the 49ers. And Ritzel caught this pass, beating Bruce Taylor right in front of the bench. And Taylor way off of Ritzel. Way in bounds.
No question about that.
Lance Ritzel, of course, coming back from a suspension from last year. He alternates with Jack Snow, bringing in plays. 3rd down and 3. Harris, with a lot of time, lays one up. And Jimmy Johnson was covering all the way on Harold Jackson. And he picks up a little help from Bruce Taylor, but Jimmy Johnson almost was able to go up and over for the interception.
That was good coverage by Jimmy Johnson. Let's finish off the other thing, Alex and Frank, once and for all. If the premise of the column in the paper this morning is correct, that the 49ers play man-for-man coverage mainly, and the premise is not proved to be correct, then they might be making mistakes, the 49ers, because with Phillips out and Johnson below par because of injuries, they need to help one another out with the zone.
Mike Burt to punt for the Rams. Deep, Bruce Taylor, 44, Ralph McGill, 49. Low driving kick, looking for the sidelines. That's back. So the 49ers will take over at their own 20. They'll have 2 minutes and 58 seconds to work with here in the first half. They trail 12-3. Don Heinrich, the offensive coordinator for this man, Dick Nolan. Now in his 7th year with the 49ers, came from the Dallas Cowboys, and that probably has led a lot of people to believe that Dick is heavily in favor of a man-to-man defense because he worked for a man for 5 years named Tom Landry, who used to think that was the only defense in the business. But even Tom is using a lot of zone, as are the 49ers. Dell Williams is in the backfield, the rookie from Kansas, number 24. And this is number 48, Sammy Johnson. The flag goes down. Flag goes down, and we are going to have a holding call against the 49ers, who are not moving the ball too well, and they're also making those mental errors that cost.
There was a good play here by Brooks. He eludes his man pretty good, and there's a holding. That was the holding on him. That was the guy that got caught. Brooks does a good job, but let's run it back and just see what goes on there. Yeah, there's a holding penalty, definitely. Brooks
Bob Piccion, again, working against Larry Brooks. And I guess against Brooks, you'll be tempted to hold. It's had a big night. 1st down and 20. Jackson gets the draw call and just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the crowd doesn't like the calls, which of course are coming in from the bench. In fact, they're not happy about much of anything because the 49ers have hardly scintillated tonight. They got their score on the basis of a judgment by the Rams to let Bruce Gossett go for a field goal, and they declined the 15-yard penalty against the 49ers at the time.
2:20, and the clock is moving. The 49ers have a second down and 20. They've not been able to do much against this Ram defense, which is now in a prevent defense. The fifth secondary man is in the backfield. Over Jackson getting the call. Larry Brooks. And Jack Reynolds there for the stop. And well, Frank, I don't blame him a little bit for booing. It's kind of hard to come with two draws. You're second down and 20.
Everyone in the stadium starts to boo right now, except one guy who's clapping, and he's clapping for the booing, Frank.
That's the 2-minute warning. Tom Owen comes over to talk to head coach Dick Dolan and offensive coordinator Don Heinrich. And we'll be back in San Francisco in just a moment.
If your old shock absorbers are telling you you need new ones, come to Sears heavy-duty shock sale now. On sale for $4.88 each. You save over 30%. Come in for a free check during Sears heavy-duty shock sale. Save over 30%. Sears heavy-duty shocks. On sale now, just $4.88 each. Only at Sears.
Sometimes your future may be captured in a single moment, in the present.
We're helping 40 million people, more than 40 million people, who know the future is now. At Metropolitan Life, we help to plan the future, because the future is now.
Metropolitan Life, where the future is now.
Lee J. Cobb stars in The Great Ice Ripoff, the Wednesday movie of the week at 8:30, 7:30 Central, here on ABC.
2 minutes remaining in the first half from San Francisco, California. The 49ers have the football. It's third down and 20. They've run 2 consecutive draw plays. Quarterback Tom Owen has just come back from a conference with head coach Dick Nolan. The ball is resting at the 10-yard line. Jackson around on the sweep. Spins out, picks up 3 or 4 yards, and that elicits even further booze from this partisan crowd of 49er fans who do not like the play calling, which is not what you call the most exciting play calling. A draw play on first and 20, another draw play on second and 20, an in run on third and 20. And the 49ers will now be punting, and they'll be punting against a brisk wind that swirls here at Candlestick Park, but we would have to say that Whittam will be punting against the wind. He's been gusting right around 18 to 20 miles an hour. Dave Almendorf is deep, along with Bill Simpson. The shoulder pass of Almendorf. And recovered by the 49ers. 49ers have recovered as that ball came off the shoulder pads of Dave Almendorf, and I believe Manfred Moore got down there for San Francisco, and he could have lost it in the lights. Dave Almendorf does not make that kind of mistake, and it could be looking back into the lights. He just lost it. There, you saw him turn his head around, and I'm sure that he lost it in the lights. 49ers now with 1 minute. And 6 seconds remaining in the first half.
In all those years here, Willie Mays never did that.
The ball is at the 49ers, 41. Larry Schreiber cannot hold on to Tom Owen's low pass.
I would not say this game is being efficiently played at the moment. Would you, Alex?
No, I'm starting to relax a little bit up here, Howard.
It's getting ridiculous.
Don't get comfortable. Monday night, remember? That play used 5 seconds. 3 timeouts remaining for the 49ers. Young Tom Owen, a 13th round draft pick. Impressed the 49ers when in training camp he broke his facial bone, came back the next day to practice with his jaw wired up, ready to play. That his start 2 weeks ago against the Rams looked good in a losing effort. Looked good last week against Oakland. Now on second down and 10. A lot of time. There's Mitchell wide open. And Eddie McMillan really gave Tom Mitchell a shot. The question is, did he hit him before the ball got there? And the fans are booing, saying that he did.
I don't think he did, Jeff.
But
I
it looked
thought
like
Eddie McMillan read that play beautifully. He was just waiting there for that pass.
Yeah, it was perfect timing, Howard. That was a good play.
Tom Mitchell took quite a shot, but he gets up.
He's tough. And Bucknell, they're all tough from Bucknell. They go back to Clark Hinkle, great Hall of Famer. Tough at Bucknell. And at Green Bay.
Clock stops with the incompletion at 54 seconds. Third down and 10. 49ers trying to throw against the wind. Good time. Going to Washington, and again it was McMillan. And he's all over the joint.
Oh, he's fantastic. Two great plays in a row by McMillan.
48 seconds, and the 49ers will have to punt. Tom Owen talking to offensive coordinator Don Heinrich on the sidelines. Owen is 4 of 12 for 86 yards. He's also been on the ground a little bit today. Dave Elmendorf and Bill Simpson are deep. Whittam, the top punter of the NFC. Beautiful kick. Elmendorf fields it at his 18. And a flag goes down. Flag goes down and Bill Simpson threw a block which could have been interpreted as a clip. Stanford Moore again down there for the 49ers. Holding against the Rams with 38 seconds showing on the clock remaining in the first half. Gusting to 18 to 25 miles an hour.
Gusting candlestick, gusting windy Howard Cosell.
I'll tell you, I'm gusting. It's getting colder and colder.
Colder than a witch's elbow up here, isn't it?
Holding is called against Eddie McMillan for the Rams. 38 seconds remaining in the half. LA with a comfortable 12-3 lead. John Capoletti, Lawrence McCutcheon with 2 setbacks. The wide receivers are Jack Snow, 84, Harold Jackson, 29, and we'll see whether the Rams will attempt to put more points on the scoreboard by the plays that they call. And this is Capoletti. Out over the 20, out to the 20. Well, they'll mark it right out to 20. And John Capoletti is having quite a night, replacing Jim Bertelson, who was shaken up in the first quarter. A rookie from Penn State, Heisman Award winner. 17 touchdowns Capoletti scored last year. Had over 1,500 yards rushing. Has picked up 37 yards tonight to add to the 32 he had coming in. And the Rams are just letting it run down. They're content with their 12-3 lead. Interesting halftime coming up. A visit with Muhammad Ali. And we'll also be looking at the youngsters at punt, pass, and kick.
Back live, Candlestick Park, San Francisco. The Rams 12, the 49ers 3 at halftime. Quickly a review of the scoring in the first quarter. 15 plays, a commanding drive. And Tony Baker, touchdown. Tony ran in for a touchdown, a 1-yard run. David Ray's attempted conversion failed when the snap from center was bad. David tried to run it in, couldn't make it. Then in the second quarter, a 23-yard pass as you watch the touchdown there with touchdown Tony. Okay, he's always there in the close-in situations. This is second quarter action. Jamie Harris, number 12, the quarterback whom you don't see, throwing the Bob Klein, number 80, the big tight end. And Bob burst in for the score. That made it 12-0. David Ray's conversion again failed, so they're 0 for 2. Then a 46-yard field goal by Bruce Gossett for the 49ers. That made it 12-3. Normally at this point, we present our halftime highlights of yesterday's NFL games. That will not be the case today because of a special interview I taped earlier with the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali, here in our Chicago studios. This special interview is brought to you by Tipperillo, the mild cigar that makes everything you do look a little better.
There are those times that call for nothing less than a Tipperillo. Sure, it tastes great, but it looks great, too. It makes everything else you do look a little better. Tipperillo. It makes everything else you do look a little better.
The heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali, in the wake of his stunning victory over George Foreman on Tuesday night, passed in Zaire. And Muhammad, the first question has to be, cutting through all the speculation, what are you going to do now? Will you fight again? If so, against whom? Or will you retire?
Yes, Howard, I've made mention that I would like to retire. And I've been thinking about it. My title was taken a couple of times without being defeated in the ring. And just to give it right back like that, I don't think would be fair to my fans, nor the boxer, nor myself. So I think I'm going to hang around and haunt the game a little while and hold my title for a while, take on all challenges, but I must have at least a 4 or 5 month rest.
Well, what does that mean? Will your next opponent be George Foreman or Joe Frazier? Try to be definite.
Well, it's up to my managers. Herbert Muhammad, he's negotiating now with people who represent Frazier and Foreman, and a few more people, too. As you know, I don't duck nobody. My license was given to me after 3.5 year layoff. We fought Jerry Quarry, #1 contender, jumped right on Oscar Bonavina, fought Frazier right after that, fought 10 fights. Fought him again, fought Norton twice, gave him a shot of nobody, broke my jaw, came back and beat him, went and fought George Foreman. So we don't have to make no commitments, so we're not ducking, we don't have to prove nothing. I think I deserve a chance to rest for a few months before we make an announcement, and when we do, it will be one that the public will be satisfied with.
Well, I think you're right about that. You do deserve that rest, champ. But quite frankly, have you been offered a $10 million personal guarantee by either the government of Kuwait or Iran?
No, I cannot mention no countries.
Why not?
I cannot mention the countries because I told the promoters of those countries that I wouldn't. And so that's that. Then just that easy. And I don't have to explain nothing. I proved that I'm the greatest fighter of all times. And you don't see a scratch on my face. I just fought your big, bad, powerful George Foreman. I'm not ducking nobody, and I can set him boast and say, you don't have a man on this earth to prove to be my worth. So I pick him and do him when I want him. And I'm not frightening nobody, and you know that by now, I'm sure, after seeing the results of the last fight.
Okay. I want to take you back in relationship to the fight against Foreman. I want to take you back to March 8, 1971, Madison Square Garden, the 8th round. Look at this footage. You're playing that game against the ropes, and Joe Frazier is trying to belabor you. After that first fight, Muhammad, remember you told me, Howard, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I was clowning. Yet you used exactly the same tactic against George Foreman, and it worked. How do you explain first your use of the tactic and why it worked against Foreman when it wouldn't against Frazier?
Well, number one, I'd say that I was forced to do that because I was off for 3.5 years. I was a little stunned, off and on in the fight. He stunned me, and this is what happened. I figured if he got me on the ropes and he threw some stuff that was a little too powerful, if he was better than I thought he was, I would have gotten off the ropes. But I didn't have to do that because I was right. He didn't hit that hard, and he wasn't that accurate in his punching, and he throws everything without pacing himself, and he burned himself out. This is what I let him do. With the Frazier fight, I moved for the first few rounds, you notice, and those were the later rounds where I had to go to the rope because I couldn't do no better and I was tired, and I was hoping he would punch himself out, but he didn't. So those were two different incidents and for different reasons.
All right, Muhammad, is it true or not true that when you went back to your corner at the end of the first round, and your Dr. Ferdy Pacheco discussed this with me last Friday, Ferdy and Angelo Dundee and even Herbert Muhammad said, what are you doing? Stay away from those ropes. Move.
Yes, that's what they said, but they weren't in there fighting, and I'm the best strategy man in boxing, and when I'm fighting, I do a lot of things that people don't understand, and that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm champ. That's why I don't see no scratches on my face. This is why I'm where I'm at, is because I planned the strategy. I realize how much they love me, Herbert Muhammad, and all the people who love me and want me to win don't like to see me on the ropes, and it looks rougher to them than it is. But I knew what I was doing, and I proved to do the right thing, and I appreciate them worrying, but I'm sorry I can't fight the way people out on the outside want me to fight. I have to fight the way I feel it, because I'm the best in boxing, and I know how to plan my fights.
All right, champ, that brings up this final point. Did you plan your strategy before the fight, or did you just decide upon it at the moment?
It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I did plan not to dance as much as I publicized. I publicized a lot of dancing to throw the man off track. His trainers, his sparring partners were running in the ring. He was chasing them, thinking that that's what I was going to do. I figured I could dance, but this man stood up straight. A low man like George Chuvalo and Frazier who ducks, you can dance and punch at them. They're there. But this man stood up straight, and if you dance, you just be dancing and not hitting nothing, because he don't come in and give it nothing. So my strategy was to dance and not to dance. And I was going to do what I had to, and I didn't have to do much dancing.
Champ, one final question, and this is it. I think everybody in America now believes. You made believers out of all of us because even I picked against you. I thought George would beat you.
Right.
And I think you've got a whole new cult of followers in this country because of the brilliance of your victory. At the same time, there are always those who don't believe and who start reciting the two Liston fights and say something in this fight looked funny to them because Foreman did so badly. What's your response?
I predicted that would be the excuse. I figured the excuse might be, well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and he was too tired. The Ali Boumaier chants in Africa was dominant for me, and he was frightened, thinking that if he lost, he'd get beat up or assassinated, or probably I did something crooked. So I knew it'd be some excuse. When I win, it's always an excuse, especially a big upset like that. I upset so many people who said I didn't have a chance, so many experts, so many critics. If I got caught in the corner, I just defied the world. So I expect this. But tell them all, look at the fight films, hurry up and show these films to the public, and let them see that not only did I knock this man out, but I outclassed him, I outpunched him, I hit him in wheel, and the man took a terrible scientific beating before I knocked him out. No tricks, no short counts, no loose ropes. And the man just took a supremely superior whipping, and he will never whoop me. No man alive will whoop me as long as I'm in shape.
All right, you made it work. You backed it up. I want to thank you very much for spending this time with us. The folks on Monday Night Football, I'm sure, were interested very, very much so.
By the way, make your prediction. Who's winning the game tonight?
Oh, I'll tell you that in a moment. The Rams, I'll tell you now.
All right, well,
but I owe you this much. You are the greatest.
Thank you, Howard. I'm so glad I got you in my corner. I can retire now.
We'll be back right after this message.
I've won Cosell.
All right, we're back live at Candlestick Park, San Francisco. There's your halftime score. The halftime highlights normally shown on these occasions were not shown tonight because of the special interview with Muhammad Ali. And the halftime highlights are normally brought to you by Tipperillo. Tonight instead, Tipperillo, the mild cigar that makes everything you do look a little better, brought you that special interview with the heavyweight champion of the world. Now, this past week, and, well, we were going to bring you another notable moment in the history of ABC Sports, but we'll defer that right now. Instead, because of our punt, pass, and kick competition, we're going to turn the situation over to my colleague, the Gipper, Frank Gifford.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to preview some of the NFL stars of tomorrow in the Ford Dealers of America, the National Football League's punt, pass, and kick competition. Now, these youngsters who are about ready to take up this competition have already won at the local and the zone and the district level, and tonight We're going to find out who moves on to the semifinals. And with me this evening to bring you one of the 26 area competitions is Jim Fuller, the National Card Merchandising Manager of Ford Division. And Jim, we have a real first tonight.
That's right, Frank. For the first time in PP&K history, we have a girl competing in the area competition. Last year, we had 2,000 girls competing in PP&K, but this is the first time a girl has gotten to the area competition. In just a few minutes, we'll be seeing Cynthia Stehauer competing in the passing event.
That'll be interesting, Jim. You know, over the years, how many of the youngsters have gone on into to become National Football League players?
Oh, Frank, several of PP&K former participants are in the NFL today. As an example, Dave Jennings of the New York Giants, one of the top punters in the NFL, was a former PP&K and participated for 4 years. Additionally, there are some fine college players who participated in PP&K. Mike Kirkland, the quarterback and leading punter for Arkansas, is a former PP&K.
You know, Jim, I've been involved in PP&K for almost all of those 14 years, and over that period of time, how many youngsters have taken part?
Well, Frank, we've had over 11.5 million kids participate in PP&K in the 14-year history of the program. And this year, we'll have over 1 million boys and girls participating in PP&K. And Frank, much of the great success we've had with PP&K has been the result of the cooperation we've gotten from ABC TV, Howard, Alex, and yourself. And on behalf of the Ford Dealers of America and the NFL, I'd like to present you with the Golden Football Award, signifying your fine efforts in PP&K.
Well, Jim, thank you very much. I know that Howard and Alex will appreciate this just as much as I do.
Thank you.
Now let's go down to the field and take a look at the passing event. The punting and kicking portions of the competition were held here earlier tonight, and this passing event will determine which of these PP&K contestants will advance to the semifinals as representatives of the 49ers in Washington, D.C., December the 15th. The punt, pass, and kick officials on the field will start the contestants, spot the pass as it lands on the fly, measure the distance and accuracy, and record the scores. Okay, let's begin the passing event. And starting with the 8-year-olds, you're looking at number 27, Rod Robertson. He's from Wenatchee, Washington. Good effort, Rod. And now, over to 28, Lane Santiago from Hauula, Hawaii. Beautiful pass by Lane Santiago. Now for the 9-year-olds. 25 is Chris Miller. He's from Eugene, Oregon. Okay, Chris Miller. Now you're looking at James Apo from Honolulu, Hawaii. Good effort, James. Now for the 10-year-olds. Number 86, Darren Magnuson from Moscow, Idaho. Now a first for punt, pass, and kick. Number 48, Cynthia Stehauer from Honolulu, Hawaii. Cynthia Stehauer. Now for the 11-year-olds, number 70, Billy Kurwoski from Moses Lake, Washington. There's a beauty. Now, number 26, Luis Santiago from Hauula, Hawaii. Nice toss. Now for the 12-year-olds, number 39, Ben Johnson. He's from Oak Harbor, Washington. A bullet. And now for number 27, Alan McCabe, Hilo, Hawaii. Nice pass. Now the final two competitors, the 13-year-olds, number 24, Marlon Methvin from Everett, Washington. Out of the ballpark. Marlon Methvin. And now number 37, Jim Welch, Hauula, Hawaii. right out there with Marlin. And that completes the San Francisco 49ers punt, pass, and kick area competition. The officials will now add up the scores and determine the 6 winners. We'll announce the results at the end of the third quarters. Congratulations, all of you young men and ladies. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers, is being brought to you by Gillette, makers of Dry Look. Number 1, aerosol for men's hair. No wonder the wet head is dead. Halftime at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The Los Angeles Rams out in front of the San Francisco 49ers, 12-3.
Okay, United, here it is, and it's not going to be easy.
One call to United's Apollo reservations from you or your travel agent can handle some pretty snarly travel plans.
All set, Mr. Martin. You've got a reservation, rental car, low-cal meal, and the same thing on to Denver.
You got it.
You got it, Mr. Martin.
The spirit of United's friendship service. It's catching.
I got it.
The friendly skies of your land. Spirit catching on now. United Airlines.
James Caan and Billy D. Williams star in Brian's song, Saturday at 8:30, 7:30 Central.
In beautiful San Francisco, we're awaiting the second half kickoff, but before the teams take the field, you know, this past week, a historic agreement was signed between ABC Television and the State Committee for Television and Radio of the USSR.
The USSR, Moscow, the scene of the 1980 Olympics to be. And, of course, Elton Rule, president of the American Broadcasting Company's Rune Orlich, whom you then saw, and Sergei Lapin, the chairman of the State Committee for TV and Radio in the USSR, signed this agreement, which provides for a massive exchange of news, sports, and entertainment programs. So our congratulations, if I may take this liberty, to our own president, Elton Rule. Debonair, impeccable, as always. Elton, a great achievement, and we're delighted at ABC Sports to be a part of this brand new international agreement in the field of communications. Gipper, let's go back to you.
The 50th time the Rams and the 49ers have met in their competition, a vicious rivalry that has taken place out here in the West Coast, dominated over the years by the LA Rams. They can win their 8th straight tonight, and they lead 12-3. They got on the scoreboard early. Tony Baker scored from 1 yard out for the Rams. David Ray missed trying to run the conversion in that was bobbled by Steve Priest. And Bob Klein scored on a Jimmy Harris pass from 23 yards out, and the conversion was missed at that point. Later on in the second period, the 49ers hit on a 46-yard Bruce Gossett field goal, and that was following a holding call that was declined by the Rams that would have put them out of range. And you're looking at number 16, Norm Snead. Now, Norm Snead, oddly enough, is the 9th-ranked passer in the National Football Conference, has not thrown a pass for the 49ers. He came 2 weeks ago from the New York Giants for a couple of medium to high draft picks. Been around a while, 14 years.
And I must say, you've always liked him, Frank.
I always have. I liked him because he survived Washington and Philadelphia in the Baseman, Washington, Philadelphia, well, playing quarterback for them, was about to commit suicide. He took quite a pounding. Traveled up from Washington to Minnesota, went with the Giants, had a couple of good years. A couple of years ago, led the entire NFL in passing. Okay, set to go. The 49ers will receive Mike Holmes and Manfred Moore. Holmes 20, Manfred Moore 45. The two rookies will take the kick of David Ray. Manfred Moore at his 5-yard line. And Moore hit hard at the 25. 21-yard return by Manfred Moore. Offensively, for the 49ers, we are going to see Norm Snead at quarterback. Owen leads the game, 4 of 12, 86 yards, but he went down 4 times. Norm Snead, he's not known as Mr. Ability, so he'll need some protection if he's going to put it in the air. He will team with Wilbur Jackson and Larry Schreiber. 40, Jackson, 35, Schreiber. Wide receivers, Gene Washington, 18, Abramowitz, 46, and Terry Beasley, 88. Beasley and Abramowitz alternate. Snead lumbering back, firing over the middle, complete. Almost to Gene Washington. I almost got carried away. I happen to like Norm Snead as a person.
Second good recovery of the night, Gipper.
You're not supposed to allow that to enter into the picture, I know, but I have admired Norm Snead over the years. Snead missing on his first attempt.
I can't blame that on Washington either, Frank.
No, and I didn't either. Second down, the ball is at the 26-yard line. 49ers trailing 12-3. Draw play goes to Jackson. And Jackson goes down. He's in the arms of Larry Brooks, who's having one whale of a night.
He's having a field day out there, Alex.
He's a super ball player. He's really a great pass rusher, and he's doing a job as far as the run is concerned, too.
They've tried everything, the 49ers. They've changed offensive guards, but they are having no luck with Larry Brooks. Not big either, Alex. 6'3", 255. I say not big. That isn't big to tackle. Okay, it's third down at 10. The ball is still at the 26. Snead again on his second passing effort. Wide open.
I wouldn't believe it.
Norm Snead doesn't midfield. Dropped there by Charlie Strooks as Norm Snead has the run of the night, 27 yards. I told you, Howard, he's a good player.
You talk about lumbering. Did you see that, Alex?
Let's look at him again, and
this is one for the record book.
Norm Snead, who almost takes a coffee break at midfield before he picks up his 27 yards. He's looking for Rams to help him get to the ground. All of the other San Francisco runners had only collected 32 yards. Snead picks up 27 in one pop. 14-year veteran. Ball just inside Ram territory at the 49. Snead attempting to go to Abramowitz, who was really struck by Charlie Stoops.
He really was.
And Abramowitz says, trying to get the attention of the officials. Stoops did a job on Abramowitz.
The official was right on the play, though.
He shoved him right out of bounds there.
Incomplete.
I can't get over that Snead run. I saw one like it last year, Earl Morrow for Miami. I can't sleep yet.
Better take him out of the ball game and let him have recitation. What is that on the sideline?
Resuscitation.
Yes, thank you very much. All right.
All right. It's second down. Jackson, the inside handoff. Spinning and twisting. He's down to the 45-yard line. He picks up 4. Stopped there by Jack Youngblood, 85. Jack Reynolds, 64. Reynolds, 64. Geddes, 36. Isaiah Robertson, 58 of the linebackers. The offensive line for the 49ers. Morris Blue is at center, 75. The guards, 66. Pinchion. People, 69. Kaz Banaszak, 79. Lynn Rohde are the tackles.
You know, the most notable USC alumnus in history has just come into our booth. We'll pick up at the play, but we'll be talking with him in just a moment.
It's third down and 6. The ball at the 45. Snead drifting back. Fires complete. Taken by Gene Washington, first down at the 30. 15-yard pickup. Norm Snead, who came in throwing at a little over 60%, all that action with the New York Giants.
He has really pricked that offense up here. Gene Washington threw a little look-in pattern right on the target. Washington picks up a couple more yards. Snead looks like he's out to win the ball game tonight for the 49ers.
First down, 49ers. It's Los Angeles 12, San Francisco 3. Just underway in the third quarter. Jackson getting the inside handoff, cutting back. Spinning and twisting, finally nailed there by Ken Geddes. And he made a couple of yards out of what could have been a loss.
All right, Gipper, here we go.
Hey, that's my fellow Trojan.
Alumnus, that's right. He was a football player, unlike you, John Duke Wayne. One of the worst singers I've ever heard. How you been, Duke?
Boy, I want to tell you something. We made a duet, didn't we?
Row, row, row your boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all part of an ungodly
This is the first time I've ever seen a Cardinal and Gold team up here that didn't get booed.
What do you think of the game so far?
Great. It's certainly open and fun.
Okay, a second down and 8. Snead is going. Well, he wanted to go deep to Abramowitz, and he really got creamed. Larry Brooks again.
He got sacked, Duke.
That's it.
He's almost as old as you.
Oh, no.
That's Larry Brooks, John. And they're 49ers having a whale of a time keeping him off their passer. They do that in the day of Howard Jones?
Yeah.
That was Brooks' third sack of the night, Duke. He is having one great evening.
All right, it's third down now and 15.
Fellas down there didn't like you tonight, Al.
That can happen, too.
And this is where Owen had his problems in the first half on the sure pass situation. Dumps off to Schreiber. And Schreiber
This is unbelievable, isn't it? They really opened up in the last few minutes.
Well, Steve, the veteran quarterback, has come on and he's given them a commanding quarterback.
Did you know he could run? Boy, he ran tonight.
Well, you could call it running, Duke. We called it lumbering.
Well, let's say he lumbered a few yards.
He did. 12-27 of them. Duke, it's nice of you to come by.
Thank you. It's fun being here.
Take good care.
I shall.
John, good to see you. SC's up here against Stanford next week.
You know the Golden Greek, Alex Karras.
Yes, I shook his hand. I love the guy.
All right.
He's the greatest.
Gossett has hit one from 46. This attempt from 44 and it's blocked. And it's blocked. 49ers move in on it at the 8-yard line. And that will be brought back. Jack Youngblood was the man who was in there to make the block. Ball is brought back to the line of scrimmage. So the Rams take over their first trip in the second half with the football. They lead 12-3. Comfortable lead in the NFC's Western Division. If they win tonight, they'll lead New Orleans by 3 full games. And they will only have 6 more games to play. Cappelletti over the left side, across the 30, out to the 32. Cappelletti gets 5 yards, hit there by Dave Wilcox. Wilcox 64, Nunley 57, Willie Harper 59 of the linebackers. McCutcheon and Cappelletti are going all the way as the setbacks for the Rams. Earlier, Jim Bertelson was shaken up. We don't know how seriously he was injured. And James Harris, number 12, has been the quarterback for the Rams throughout the evening. On second down and 5. Lawrence McCutcheon. And McCutcheon coming up short of the first down. He's out to the 36.
Duke Wayne is still in our booth, and he's shaking his head and saying, ooh, and we. With all the movies I've seen the Duke in, he's taken far greater punishment, Alex.
That's for sure.
And we get the call for a measurement down on the field. McCutcheon, thus far, has increased his total yardage for the season to 679 yards. The leader in the NFL coming into tonight's play after yesterday's action was O.J. Simpson at 704 yards. You saw how much? It's third down. And the two big boys come in. Tony Baker, number 35, checks in as one setback. And the two tight ends are in. Pat Curran, number 88, and Bob Klein, number 80. The short yardage offense for the Rams. 8:49 remaining in the third quarter. Harris keeps it himself. It looks like he has it.
I would say he has this one, Alex. What do you say?
Well, I think that was really an exciting offensive play, that old quarterback sneak that we love so much up here, Howard.
You wanted to see the kind of thing Craig Morton pulled to undo the Chiefs yesterday.
Wasn't that fantastic? I love that.
James Harris, 6'4", 225 pounds. Came into football back in 1969 as an 8th-round draft pick of the Buffalo Bills. Released in 1972. Picked up by the Rams midway through that season. He's been sitting, watching, and learning. Now the big opportunity. The Rams are laying it all on the line. They say this is our man that will take us all the way. Cappelletti spinning and twisting and still driving. He's out to the 45.
I'll tell you, he's a good-looking young athlete. Why a sunshade under the lights? Isaiah Robertson, who oddly hasn't gotten a lot of action tonight. He's been in there, but normally this guy, who is a truly great outside linebacker, maybe the most active in the National Football League. That's it. Give us the sign, Isaiah.
We're number 2.
The sunshade.
Oh. He may be dealing cards down there. I don't know.
Second down and 3. Cappelletti picks up 70, has 49 yards on the night. McCutcheon drives into the middle of the line, and a flag goes down. And usually in that area, it will be an offensive call. That's what it is. Holding Rams. 10-yard penalty. Oh, come on now. I'm going to send John Wayne over there to get the wagons in the circle and tear that down.
They're catching up to you, Giff, with the USC routine.
I love what John Wayne called George Clifton. He calls him Plimperton. It drives George crazy.
John Wayne, who played at USC, is Marion Mark.
This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Right now, let's pause 5 seconds and allow our local stations to identify themselves. Second down and 13. The ball's at the 35 of the Rams, following the holding call. Cappelletti again. And this time, Cappelletti goes down, out to the 35. It'll be third down and 12.
Here's number 50. Excuse me, Frank. Here's number 57, Frank Nunley, comes right over, does good, nice pursuit from his middle linebacker job, comes right over, meets the play. Very nice job. Played off 2 blocks, got to the runner.
More importantly, as we look at the disabled Steve Spurrier, would you have called that play, Alex?
Well, I don't know. I'm a little bored right now, Howard.
Third down and 12. Ball just at the 35-yard line for the Rams. Harris back looking, firing out to McCutcheon. And Willie Harper is all over McCutcheon. And the 49ers seemingly have come to life. Norm Snead came in at quarterback, moved him down the field. They did not score, but now defensively they have stopped the Rams.
I tell you, it's funny the way certain guys wear the same number and resemble other guys, Frank. 59 Willie Harper is much like 59 Charlie Weaver on the Detroit Lions, Alex. Same kind of movement, don't you see it?
Yes, absolutely.
Here's Mike Burke. That's what he's been doing for the evening after replacing the Rams' regular kicker. You're looking at Bruce Taylor now and Ralph McGill. Taylor's 44, McGill's 49. Bruce Taylor. Oh, and Bruce Taylor really went down. Getting down there quickly to make the stop for the Rams, number 48, Bill Simpson.
If we could look at that again, it almost looked from here like a face mask.
He really hooked him.
Well, there it is, in replay. Now let's watch closely. Brucey.
Watch Simpson here, reaching over and grabbing him right around the neck, garroting him.
Garrett.
That's a good word, isn't it?
Excellent word.
Thank you. Timeout in San Francisco. L.A. out in front of San Francisco, 12-3.
Sometimes your future may be captured in a single moment. in the present.
We're helping 40 million people, more than 40 million people who know the future is bright. At Metropolitan Life, we help to plan the future because the future is bright.
Metropolitan Life, where the future is now.
Out comes Miller time. The longest 6 seconds of your life just turned out to be the quickest quarter mile of the day. So head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, if you got the time, we've got the beer.
Number 57, middle linebacker Frank Nunley, has been very active all night despite going in and out. And right there, he apparently pulled a hamstring. He's over on the sidelines being treated now. Now he's walking pretty good again. Legs taped up.
And meanwhile, first and 10, 5:42 remaining in the third quarter. Norm Snead, the quarterback, fires to Schreiber. Schreiber will get the first down. He's over the 45 to the 47. Dropped there by Ken Geddes. Gain of 13.
I must say, Giff, Snead has brought some life to this 49er team. He came in and quickly started moving the 49ers. They were stopped only because of a sack by Larry Brooks, number 90 of the Rams, who's having a simply overwhelming individual performance evening. But now Snead is apparently ready to move them again. 12-3 Rams, 5:10 left in the third quarter.
The ball is at the 47. A lot of wars has this man been through. And you saw number 65, Randy Beisler, pull up from his right guard position. Should have an illegal procedure call against the 49ers.
And watch how Brooks reacts to this, Frank. Number 90, Brooks. There he goes. He is quick. There's no question about this guy. He's very quick, and he analyzes the play quickly, comes right down and meets the play.
Randy Beisler is an interesting case, by the way, the gentleman who committed the infraction. He's in because Woody Peoples of Grambling is out with an injury. Well, let's look at this from the official.
Declined the illegal procedure call against the 49ers, declined by the Rams.
Yep.
That's what you call confidence in your defense.
You better believe it. They declined an earlier penalty that resulted in the San Francisco field goal.
That's what you call not too smart. Second down and 8. Jackson over the left side, and Larry Brooks should get about 18 game balls.
Point I was making about Beisler as we look at this in slow-mo. Watch number 90 again, Larry Brooks. He gets through there.
You know, Beisler goes 247. He hit Brooks, who goes 255, and he just bounced off.
But, Frank, they were switching Randy. He's been working on defense and even had some action there, and they had to put him back on offense, his original position, because of the injury to People.
Third down and 7. Jackson is complete over the middle, and look out. Elmendorf catches up with Jackson. Wilbur Jackson, 27-yard gain, all the way down to the 22. And Norm Snead has come on for head coach Dick Nolan and is moving the 49ers. There's Snead dropping back, looking over the middle, and Geddes trying to stay with Jackson, and Jackson high steps it right out of Geddes' hands. Turns it on, Elmendorf makes the save.
I think he thinks he's throwing to Bob Tucker, his former tight end with the Giants.
There he is, a great All-American out of Alabama. First and 10 for the 49ers, and the fans start to come to life as Mr. Lou River comes into our booth. Eddie Williams. Snead has a Brebowitz wide open. Oh! Oh! In and out of the hands of Danny Abramowitz, who had beaten Johnny Stoops and Dave Elmendorf.
You know, this has been a curious Los Angeles team. Coming off its 12-2 record a year ago, a touted powerhouse, expected to be a real contender for the Super Bowl. We're looking at it in replay. There's Danny moving out. He may be Snell-like, but he beats his man, and the pass was just off the fingertips. Too bad. There's Danny on the sideline.
All right. He has not made a catch tonight. He has 98 games, consecutive games. Second down and 10. Driver on the screen. Driver pounded there by Charlie Stoops.
Frank, we got to count that little short pass that Abramovich caught earlier today.
Yeah,
So
he got one. I tell you, Snead is having some fun out there. The old man, it'll be, as our good friend Andy Williams put it, if he can come through for them, a day of wine and roses. Howard. Good to see you, Andy.
Moon River.
Third down.
Not a shot.
And a very important down for the 49ers. They trail 12-3. 3:09 remaining in the third quarter. Snead replaced Tom Owen here in the second half. Thus far, he's been able to move the 49ers, but they have not got on the scoreboard. Snead, 5 of 8 for 62 yards. 27 yards rushing. Looking for Jackson, and this time he does not get by Ken Geddes. He went back to the play he used a few moments ago, but this time, number 36, Ken Geddes was waiting for number 40, Wilbur Jackson. And out trots the field goal team.
Why would they boo this judgment? If they can put 3 more on the board, 12-6, contain Los Angeles, which has been less than overwhelming tonight.
Well,
they got a real shot because Snead's shown an ability to move this club.
The only thing I would have liked to see them is try to run it on third down. They only had a matter of a yard and a half. On the 2 downs, I think they could have set up a first down situation.
All right. Field goal attempt. And it is good. The Rams now are 1 touchdown, 1 conversion from the lead. To San Francisco. We'll be back in Candlestick Park right after this.
Now hold it in your left hand, rest it against your chin, and look through the viewer. Now all you use is one finger. You turn this focusing wheel to make everything sharp.
Now there is a new way to open up the world for someone.
And press the electric button.
The SX70. Almost effortlessly, it slips through life. Searching out, recording. You watch your creation come to life, growing more vivid, more detailed, until minutes later you're looking at a print almost as real as life itself. Polaroid's SX70 light camera. It can open up the world.
Tom Wenham to kick off for the 49ers, who now trail by the touchdown and conversion. 12-6. Deep 32, Cullen Bryant. He is a hot ticket when he takes off. And number 24, Willie McGee. And Wenham not kicking the ball well. Taken by Cullen Bryant. And Bryant out nearly to midfield, and a bad kick by Wenham is returned to midfield by Cullen Bryant. 34-yard return.
Look at that camera, Mr. Williams. You're on. Andy Williams, of course. How do you like what's happening?
Well, I'm watching the second half. The first half, I just watched John Wayne. It really seems like a different ballgame right now.
Snead has been the difference. Now, as the crowd just chanted, Andy, defense. Take over, Gift.
Harris, the quarterback for the Rams. 1st and 10 for L.A. And a big night this far for this man, John Cappelletti. And this time, the crowd chanting defense has some sort of impact, apparently, on the 49ers. They hold Cappelletti to a 2-yard gain.
What makes you a 49er fan, Andy?
Well, I'm a football fan. No, I'm actually a Ram fan, but
I wanted to come up and see this game. It's turning out to be a very good one, too.
Yeah, it started very, very much in favor of the Rams, but the 49ers are playing now.
Second down and 8. Harris under pressure. He can run. And he's also getting very smart. He takes it out of bounds. Driven out of bounds by Jimmy Johnson. Very close to the first down.
Self-preservation.
And while they look it over, a week ago last night, I was in New York watching Andy at a sensational concert. Really was, Andy. Enjoyed it so much.
Thanks. It was fun. We had a good time in New York.
Well, you always have a good time in New York. I know you, baby.
Especially when he comes in to play tennis, so that the throngs at Forest Hills can see the true nature of his game.
I've got to play you one time.
Never happened.
Harris gets out of bounds just short of the first down.
Boy, I wish my mom was here right now. She's an Andy Williams fan. She just loves him.
Andy's not disturbed at hearing that.
I didn't hear it. What did he say?
He said Alex said he wished his mom were here right now. She's an Andy Williams fan. She just loves him.
Well, he's from Spirit Lake, Iowa,
Well, that's why.
That's right.
Iowans stick together.
Moon River.
Third down. Inches to go. Short yardage unit is in for the Rams. That means Tony Baker, the big setback, replaces McCutcheon. And diving forward is Harris. 6'4", 225 pounds. A lot of pressure on this young man because, as most pro football fans realize, the NFL Player of the Year, John Hadle, last year was traded to Green Bay a few days ago for a whole bunch of draft picks that could create a dynasty for the Rams. But in doing so, the Rams, in effect, told James Harris, fifth-year man out of Grambling, you're it, baby. Take us to the playoffs. Take us all the way if you can. The ball is at the 38 of the 49ers. McCutcheon back into the lineup, as is Bertelsen. Going for Harold Jackson, and Harold Jackson is well covered by Jimmy Johnson, another 14-year veteran, and a brother of the great Olympic decathlon champion, Rafer Johnson. Here's Harold working against Jimmy. Now look at Jimmy. Just take a good look at him. Didn't turn his feet around. Opened up the stance. That saves a step for a defensive back, and he was right there. Second down at 10. 1:23 remaining in the third quarter. Harris with Klein wide open. Inside the 15, Bob Klein.
Second time this game on a key play from the Rams' point of view that Klein has been wide open. The first time, as you saw in the replay at halftime and in the first half, Bob Klein burst in for the touchdown. Let's look at Jamie again.
And apparently Bob Klein is just not drawing any coverage whatsoever. He was wide open for that 23-yard touchdown, as Howard mentioned. Ram staff looking on, headed by Chuck Knox. 27-yard gain for Klein. On the 12-yard line, a first down. Bertelsen back in the ball game, and he moves down to the 5. Jim Bertelsen, who missed most of the first half and much of the third quarter, replaced by John Cappelletti, is now back in.
He's an effective runner, Alex Bertelsen. He's not swift either, but he's difficult to bring down. Slithers, slides.
Clock ticking away. The third quarter, down to 9 seconds and moving. He might get the play off, he might not. He will not. You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Rams 12, the 49ers 6. We'll return after this word from our local stations.
Smith and Reasoner bring you coverage with the personal touch, election night.
What do you want to eat?
Chinese restaurant.
Hmm?
Great Chinese restaurant.
Any cat? Breakfast salad?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to announce the 6 area champions of the Ford Dealers of America NFL Punt, Pass, and Kick competition. The trophy is being presented by Mr. Lee Gray, Ford Division Regional Sales Manager, and Mr. Cy Kleinman, a member of the Ford National Dealer Council representing the Ford Dealers of America. The 8-year-old winner is Lane Santiago, number 28, from Hauula, Hawaii. The 9-year-old winner, Chris Miller, from Eugene, Oregon. The 10-year-old winner is Darren Magnuson from Moscow, Idaho. The 11-year-old winner, Louis Santiago from Hauula, Hawaii. The 12-year-old winner is Benjamin Johnson from Oak Harbor, Washington. The 13-year-old winner is Marlon Methvin from Everett, Washington. Congratulations. Good luck, fellas. Second down. The ball's on the 4-yard line. James Harris gives the ball off to Lawrence McCutcheon. He's inside the 5. He's down to the 2. Lawrence McCutcheon.
Where's Lawrence McCutcheon been all night, Howard? He hasn't been running the ball at all.
Oh, they haven't made their game go tonight. They have not been that impressive.
32 yards for McCutcheon, who came into tonight's game with 4 games over 100 yards. Very close to the first down they'll measure.
And as they measure, Frank, that's the point earlier I began to make as you look at a picture of Lawrence McCutcheon. That this Ram team is a presumed powerhouse, yet in only 1 game this year, and that was a couple of weeks ago when they crushed this very 49er team, 37-14, did they manifest the kind of offense that was expected of them and that they produced so often a year ago.
You saw how much. It'll be 3rd down. Tony Baker is in the Ram lineup along with the other tight end, Pat Curran. Bertelsen and Tony Baker. Bertelsen gets the call. And it depends on where they mark it. Bertelsen hit over the left side, was pounded back.
He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
They say no. So out trots the Ram field goal unit. David Ray. Inside now, the 4th quarter. L.A. leading 12-6. David Ray trying to put the game out of the reach of a touchdown. He's hit from 20 yards. It is good. So the Rams have moved out to a 15-6 lead. We'll be back at Candlestick Park right after this.
For 1975, Lincoln Mercury seated 5 adults in comfort, then engineered a luxury car around them. More than a foot shorter than last year's average mid-size car for good gas mileage, yet with more headroom and only 1.5 inches less legroom. Introducing the new precision-size Mercury Monarch. Instead of crowding people into a small car, we build a car around people. That's functional engineering. Monarch gears buckets are wide, deep, and fully reclining. Instruments and controls positioned within easy reach. Even an optional moonroof. Monarch Gears 256 is engineered for 18 to 26 miles per gallon under highway conditions, 14 to 18 under city conditions. And this 2-door Monarch sticker price, including optional white walls, starts under $3,800. Delivery, dealer prep, title, and taxes extra. Now there's a precision-size Monarch. At the sign of the cat.
David Ray just helped out the Rams' cause considerably, hitting from 20 yards out for a 3-pointer. Looking deep for the 49ers, Mike Holmes, number 20. Number 45 is Manfred Moore. Mike Holmes takes it at his 10. Holmes almost breaks it out to the 42-yard line. Hit there by number 88, Pat Curran, a 32-yard return. Rich Saul also there.
13:51 left in the game. The veteran Norm Snead out there. Must move his team down quickly to a score. If he can, of course. I tell you, watching that Lenny Dawson work in the final seconds yesterday, I'm beginning to believe you can do anything in the final minute of a game.
That's for sure. Almost won the game.
Snead is 5 of 9 for 62 yards. Jump shot off to Schreiber, complete. And Schreiber is nailed after a gain of 4.
Snead's a master of that dumb stuff. He would do it repeatedly when with the Giants, using Ron Johnson primarily when Ron was healthy enough to play. And he would develop a tremendous completion percentage with that kind of throwing, Alex. That's why those statistics can be so deceiving.
Well, I think Snead loved Y.A. Tittle, and he wanted to really be more like Y.A. Tittle, and that's why he dumps the ball a lot.
Second down and 6. Schreiber now has caught 5 for the night for 44 yards. Ball is at the 47. Jackson gets the call. Ken Geddes misses, but he recovers, and Jackson goes down. He'll lose 2. Fred Dreyer also recovering nicely for the Rams. Very active defensive unit, Los Angeles Rams, and they play so well together. Merlin Olsen in the middle of that line. He's the steady block. Youngblood and Dreyer very quick. And, of course, Larry Brooks is having a terrific night. And he's having his best year. Okay, it's third down and 7. The ball just short of the 45. Snead again over to Schreiber. And Isaiah Robertson nails Schreiber, takes him out of bounds after a gain of 2. There's Isaiah Robertson, Howard.
That's true, and it's also true that was a critical series for the 49ers. And the Rams are very well prepared defensively for that dumb stuff of Snead. They know his whole history, and they proved it right there, Alex.
Fourth down, Tom Woodham comes on for the 49ers. He'll be kicking to Bill Simpson, 48, Dave Elmendorf, 42. Elmendorf at his throw. Trying to get behind the picket line. And what a block. Down at the 3-yard line. 43-yard punt, 4-yard return.
Well, we've got still another visitor in our booth tonight, which has apparently become Times Square. But I feel a special sympathy for this man because it's Dick Sadler, the manager of George Foreman, and he saw that Muhammad Ali was on at halftime. And I want to talk to you as the game develops in some of its duller moments, Dick, so that you can perhaps explain from your point of view what happened in Zaire and from George's point of view. Skip.
First and 10, Los Angeles. They move from their own 15. This is Jim Bertelsen over the right side. He picks up a couple. It'll be second down and 8.
Briefly, was George able to follow the strategy you dictated to him? And if he didn't, why didn't he?
That's the question we've all been asking ourselves, Howard.
Want to look at the camera here.
We felt that we had things pretty much in control going into the fight. Then somewhere along the line, we lost a little communication.
Okay, we'll pick up in just a minute. Don't mean to interrupt you. Here's the game, Jeff.
On second down and 8. Lawrence McCutcheon. And McCutcheon out over the 25 to the 27. He'll have a first down. Windland Hall made the stop.
All right, Giff, let's go back to Dick Sadler for just a moment. Dick, did you anticipate Ali's tactics of staying against the ropes, using the ropes?
Well, not to anticipate, but that's where we wanted him. I did our plan of attack to get him against the rope. And he normally planned his attack to use his legs, so he done us a favor by going there.
All right, we'll resume later, Giff.
On first down and 10, McCutcheon gets the call again, cuts back to the inside. This time runs into traffic.
All right, let's get back to Dick. If Ali did you a favor by going against the ropes, why couldn't Foreman put him away?
Because he didn't follow what we felt would be the wisest way to go about it. Whether he could at the times or didn't, somehow or other. The best plans, I guess, of both mice and men sometimes go astray.
All right, Dick, we're going back to the football game now. Hope your man gets another shot.
Okay, it's 2nd down and 8. Harris looking out for Jackson. He has it. It's complete. Another Ram first down. Jimmy Johnson out there covering, getting help from linebacker Dave Wilcox, number 64. 10:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. Los Angeles leads San Francisco 15-6. Lawrence McCutcheon, if you keep track of such things as we wait for the measurement down in the field, is 7 yards, I think 10 yards short of overtaking O.J. Simpson in the National Football League for rushing honors. O.J. after yesterday was 704. McCutcheon has 693 at this point.
All right, Dick Sadler's gone. We can get back to football now, Alex. Between Duke Lane, Andy Williams, and Dick Sadler, I feel like I've been on a merry-go-round.
It's kind of fun. You know, it's amazing the people that are interested in football, though.
I like the fact that Jimmy Harris threw the football. And,
yeah, right. He could have sat on the ball and made it a much duller game than it is.
First down and 10. LA looking to extend their record to 6-2 and unloading it. Quickly was Harris, and if Bruce Taylor had turned around, he might have been able to pick it off. And probably fooling Bruce Taylor. It was covering Harold Jackson. He had his hands full. Jackson was sprinting down the sidelines. The pass was underthrown, and Taylor did not look around in time. So he is soundly booed.
I don't believe this scene, Giffer. Mike Douglas, co-stars with Carl Malden in Streets of San Francisco, is at the game, and now he's in the booth.
2nd down and 10. Ball is at the 37. This is McCutcheon heading back. And McCutcheon gets 8 yards, moving out to the 45. Finally stopped there by Winland Hall. Lawrence McCutcheon.
Just to recap the score, Gip. Yeah.
Oh, I
want me to say something?
Nothing important. I'm just going to say that this happens to be a mighty fine football player.
Lawrence, not his brother Larry.
That's true. It's 3rd down. The Rams need 2 for the first down. They're playing ball control. Clock moving. 9:30 remaining in the fourth quarter. They lead 15-6. The big pressure, and then Bill Belt, 72, and Cedric Hartman moved in. That's the first time Harris has gone down this game. Only the 6th sack for the 49ers all year.
Okay, here's Hart going around the corner. Of course, let me just say this right now, that he took a little time back there. And, of course, when that happens, if your defensive lineman can't knock him down then, you're really in trouble. So he had an awful lot of time back there, and Hart finally did get to him.
All right, Mike Burke has come on to the Rams. He'll kick to Bruce Taylor, 44, Ralph McGill, 49. And off the side of the foot. And Bruce Taylor quickly had to move out of the way to avoid touching that ball. But the 49ers will take over. They'll move from their own 24-yard line. 8:52 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Rams in front of the 49ers, 15-6.
Dr. Bill Lawrence, wildlife biologist, Weyerhaeuser. For years, Bill has been the animal man at Weyerhaeuser. His job, make sure the harvesting and planting of trees is compatible with wildlife in the forest. For the past 20 years, Bill and his people have recorded evidence that wildlife flourishes in the managed forest, where timber is grown as crops, where the forest is thinned, letting in life-giving sunlight for plant food growth, where wildlife food grows among young stands of trees, a natural habitat for all sorts of animals. Next time someone says, "What's happening in the woods these days?" tell them to get in touch with Bill Lawrence, or else one of his animal friends, Weyerhaeuser, the tree-growing company.
What do you think about Ali now, Howard? Of course, that is a reference to Howard Well, hedging just a little bit. Actually, I know what Howard thinks of him. That phone call was collect last week. 49ers getting down dangerously close here in the fourth quarter. 8:52 remaining. They trail by 9. Norm Snead looking and finds Schreiber. And Schreiber battling and scrambling for 9 yards. Taken out of bounds by number 36, Ken Geddes. 6 ball, please, ball.
Battling is the word, Gipper. The time remaining, 8:43. The score 15-6. Los Angeles couldn't put the ball over when last they had the ball, even though they were down on the 1-yard line. Los Angeles has not been impressive all year the way one expected, as I said before.
Schreiber is now 7 receptions, 54 yards. Snead back again on 2nd down and 2. He has Jackson wide open. And Jackson, Eddie McMillan tried to take on Jackson, and Jackson just knocked him to the ground. Wilbur Jackson, the All-American from Alabama, and a tough cookie. 22-yard gain, 1st and 10 for the 49ers. They're on the Rams' 41-yard line.
Nonetheless, Frank, for the Rams, it's been defense. And in particular tonight, Larry Brooks with some good work in the secondary by Eddie McMillan. On offense, well, they had a struggle past Detroit, 16-13. They had difficulty in the opening game against Denver. They had difficulty against the Jets. And they're a very weak team a week ago.
Norm Snead picked up the 49er offense. They've not been able to get on the scoreboard. Snead is 9 of 13 for 98 yards. Going in for Schreiber again. His 8th reception of the night. Ken Geddes getting a workout at linebacker. Uh-oh. No good.
All right, that perks me up. Pass here. Schreiber gets the ball. And here goes the nice little bump there. He's a tough kid, though, isn't he, Howard?
I like the way Geddes got in there, and I love Schreiber.
All right, it'll be 2nd down and 8. At the 38-yard line, Snead throwing the screen pass, and Wilbur Jackson knocks it down. Incomplete.
I tell you, you get a little tired of dumping that ball off play after play, don't you, Alex?
Let's go back to the celebrities that are up in the booth.
You prefer that, huh? All right, let's bring on Mike Douglas, co-star, along with Dahl Malden of Streets of San Francisco.
Nice to have you aboard.
There's the camera right there, my friend.
How is Carl?
Good, good. He was sorry I couldn't be here. He's working tonight.
You know, he grew up in Peter Cooper Village, a section of Manhattan.
Yeah, go back a long time there.
Along with a lot of...
How long?
Too long. Let's look at the game. We may wake Paris up.
3rd down and 8. The ball at the 39-yard line. Larry Schreiber back in the ball game along with Wilbur Jackson. Snead, a lot of time, wide open at Washington. Touchdown. Norm Snead, 39-yard touchdown pass to Gene Washington. Alex, Howard, did you like it?
I love to see that. I love Norm Snead. I'm like you, Frank. I've always enjoyed Norm Snead. I played against him for many years. He's a great competitor. He gets back here and sets up.
Alex, as we watch it, what a beautiful throw. Perfect. He left that little dump stuff. Finally, they were set up for it. Washington beat Eddie McMillan, number 18, and he didn't drop that one, Gipper.
There was a face guard call against Eddie McMillan. Fight naturally declined. That was the flag you saw in the end zone. The 49ers back in the ball game.
Way to go, Norm, boy.
Bruce Gossett with a conversion attempt. And will put the 49ers within field goal range. Remaining in the fourth quarter, Los Angeles the 49ers 13.
This is Don Rickles. Open this door.
This yo-yo's going to wish he was still a mail boy.
Listen, pal. You're right, that antiperspirant is wrecking my act.
Everyone knows I make a living insulting people. I make them sweat. But this hockey puck helps keep them dry with his right guard. With his super dry anti-stain formula. Right guard protects people from me.
Open up, you dummy.
I bet he sits there all day with his right guard going.
Yes, I'd like a butane lighter, please.
Which one?
Oh, they're all about the same.
I wish you hadn't said that.
Cricket lighter is really quite a light. It'll last for months and still burn bright with thousands of sure fire lights and a flame that adjusts to different heights.
That's no ordinary cricket.
Well, cricket's no ordinary lighter.
Gotcha, cricket. For $1.49 by Gillette.
The 14-year veteran, Norm Snead, has turned it around for the San Francisco 49ers, who now trail by 2. Snead coming into the second half is 11 of 16, 139 yards, 1 touchdown. Tom Whittam set the kick off. Deep, Cullen Bryant, number 32, and number 24, Willie McGee. Willie McGee at the 7. Taken out of bounds at the 41-yard line by Ralph McGill. 33-yard return. Look at it again. Willie McGee, a rookie from Alcorn A&M, actually second-year man from Alcorn A&M. Spinning to the outside. And one thing the 49ers have really been lax at tonight has been their special unit teams. The Rams have been returning everything in sight from punts to kickoffs. 6:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. First and 10, the Rams. Moving from their own 41. Lawrence McCutcheon. And down he goes. Hit by Cedric Hartman.
I'll tell you, they're fired up now. San Francisco, of course, and maybe there's something symbolic about it because the gentleman who co-stars in the streets of San Francisco came into the booth just before Snead threw that long touchdown bomb to Gene Washington.
I was just about to say, I thought the difference had been the strength of the Rams line, and the weakness was the secondary of the 49ers changing around.
Okay, we've got to get back to this game now. We got one going. Mike,
second down and 9. Ball at the 42. Harris looking for Jackson, complete. And Harold Jackson teaming up tonight with Harris, having quite a night. Again, beating Bruce Taylor. 12-yard gain.
This is going to be interesting to see if Harris can take him down and get a score up there, Frank and Howard. And this is what I've always thought, that Harris really hasn't showed me that much this year as far as really playing under pressure. And let's see if we can go in and get a score for him.
Playing really is only his second game. A couple of weeks ago, he was 12 of 16, 276 yards, 3 touchdowns against the 49ers. Last week against the Jets, not much. First down and 10 for the Rams. They're at the 46 of the 49ers. Here comes Ferguson and go down. Ferguson hit initially by number 56, Bob Hoskins.
Well, I'll tell you, they're starting to put some rush on, and they're starting to put some heat on the running game, too. They're playing a real good defensive game right now, the 49ers. They've come to life. There's no question about it.
And so have you.
Yeah, I love it now.
It'll be second down and 12.
Clock is at 4:50, counting down.
Ball resting just on the 48-yard line. Crowd really getting into it here in San Francisco. They cinched the upset. Over the middle, it's complete to McCutcheon. And McCutcheon fumbles the ball. Okay. Here we go. 49ers recover.
Now it's Monday Night Football. Waited a long time for this. Dave Wilcox recovers. Now it's up to Mr. Snead to use ball control, to get downfield and position at the very least for a field goal. Let's look at the pass again.
This is Tom Hall.
He makes the contact right there. Willie Harper's in on it. And here comes the 14-year veteran, Dave Wilcox. All right, Snead wants it quiet. He has 4 minutes and 24 seconds to work with. His team trails by 2. First and 10 from their own 42. Wilbur Jackson turns the corner, a flag flies. Jackson got a couple of yards, but a flag went down. Isaiah Robinson made the stop, and Fred Dreyer points to the bench, saying it's against the 49ers. Holding. Oh, that's a bad time to have it.
Bad time to have it. But even so, if Snead can move them downfield, look back at those 2 missed extra points on the part of the Rams and how they now add up. Had they been executed properly, Rams would be ahead by 4 points. The 49ers would have to have the TD.
All right, the 10-yard penalty moves it back. It'll be first and 20. The ball at the 32-yard line. Norm Snead, playing for the first time in 3 weeks into the ball game. Ted Pollock now is in at tight end, number 82. He has moved out, quick to the left. Norm Snead, the runner, dumps it off. It'll be picked off. Isaiah Robertson. And two fisticuffs flying all over the field.
And Merlin Olsen broke it up. No 49ers going to tangle with Merlin.
That one should never have been thrown, and Norm Snead knows it.
Once is enough, like they say.
It's some of his teammates coming over. And Norm Snead knows he should never have thrown that ball. Look at it again, under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Norm, he really should have ran that ball that time. He just threw it up for grabs on that one, and of course Robinson picked it up, and that's the end of the ball game as far as we're concerned here.
4:09 remaining in the fourth quarter, far from over.
Well, Robinson took off his eye shades and got back in the game.
McCutcheon, the Rams will try and grind it out using the time. McCutcheon gets 4 yards. That's 706 yards for McCutcheon unofficially this year. That, again, unofficially should move him ahead of O.J. Simpson, who has 704 yards following yesterday's play.
Sorry about that, Juice.
All right, second down and 6. Ball at the 45. Just been told by my spotter that is official. McCutcheon out to the outside. And McCutcheon breaks through the tackle of Bruce Taylor. He has the first down. He's down to the 33.
That was a beautiful piece of running, Alex. Finding no hole at the intended spot. Bounced off. A couple of guys moved to the outside. You'll see it now. Again, watch this.
McCutcheon does a good job at this. He can slide right off and then get to the outside. He's got great speed. And
now watch him burst through those two tacklers. Pick up extra yardage. Beautiful.
70 yards now for McCutcheon on 16 carries. Ball is at the 33. The Rams working on the clock. Cappelletti breaking back over the middle, picking up a couple of yards. And the 49ers want timeout at 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the game.
Now, that's really an interesting statistic. That's part of what's been, as Frank detailed very early in the contest, San Francisco's terrible problem all year, the quarterback problem. And the interceptions bespeak the fact. The highest in the NFC, 16 interceptions against the 49ers.
2:44 remaining in the fourth quarter from San Francisco. We'll be back in just a moment.
There's no living with inflation.
There's no living with inflation.
There's no living with inflation.
Inflation. You can't live with it. You can't try to outwit it. Hedges don't always work. You have to stop it cold. Saving, not spending, is one answer. Everyone should try to use restraint and curb spending plans. because there's no living with inflation.
Smiley. What's that?
Droopy?
Well, I don't know. You say it. San Francisco. Right now, the Rams leading 15-13. Have a second down and 7. McCutcheon over the left side as the flag goes down at the line of scrimmage. Rams working on two projects. Work on the clock and also work their way into field goal position. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Cedric Hartman is really upset.
He's a little perturbed out there, folks.
He's going to be sitting on the bench in about half a minute. Oh, he is hot.
Well, I couldn't make out exactly what he said, could you?
Yes, but I can't repeat it.
We don't have a whole lot of lip readers.
I took a different tack.
Cedric Hartman. There he is. Perhaps the best pass rusher of the 49ers. None of them have done too well this year. They've only been able to get to the quarterback 6 times in 8 games. On second down and 2. Ralph Kruger has come in from the 49ers. McCutcheon has the first down to the 21.
Good play by young Hull there. Good clean tackle.
Tom Hall, who came in to replace Frank Nunley after Frank Nunley pulled a hamstring muscle, has done a fine job for the 49ers.
You know,
from Penn State.
Excuse me. You know, Howard, a lot of people in Gary, Indiana is going to be disappointed in Carl Malden because he is from Gary, Indiana. His name was Milan Sekulovich, and his mother and father still live in Gary.
That's
Howard?
right. That's true. We were all together after the war in this one Manhattan apartment development. As you're looking at Chuck Knox, and we got the 2-minute warning, I presume.
And he also is from the same high school, from Gary Emerson, which means that there are 2 great actors coming out of Gary Emerson.
Carl Malden and Hank Scranton.
San Francisco kills the clock again. They want to use the 2-minute warning. ABC, we're bringing you a full afternoon of exciting NCAA college football action this week with our first Saturday doubleheader. You'll be seeing one of 4 top regional games at 12:30 Eastern Time as Ohio State, number 1 in the nation, meets Michigan State. Vanderbilt takes on Kentucky. Arizona State is at Brigham Young. New Mexico State takes on Tulsa. Plus a key nationally televised game as LSU meets undefeated Alabama at 4 Eastern Time. That's ABC college football, a doubleheader this Saturday. Be sure to consult your local listings for the regional game in your area, starting at 12:30 Eastern Time on most of these ABC stations. And of course, next Monday night we have a beauty.
We sure do. St. Louis Cardinals lost their first and only game of the season yesterday to Dallas in a toughie in the final seconds. 17-14 against the always powerful Vikes, who lead their division as St. Louis leads his. The Vikes at 6-2.
On 1st and 10. The Rams moving from the 49ers 21-yard line. Cappelletti finds a big hole on the left side. He bursts for 7. Stopped there by Dave Wilcox.
I tell you, Cappelletti's finding a home on that team the way he's running the ball tonight.
Well, he's doing the same thing that McCutcheon's doing. He's going into that hole. There's no hole, and he cuts back to the outside. It's beautiful. Or to the inside, wherever it happens to go.
And there is the 2-minute warning. Cappelletti now with 66 yards. We'll be back in San Francisco right after this message.
The redesigned 1975 Lincoln Continental Town Coupe. We asked 50 owners of that other luxury car what they thought of it.
Extremely luxurious.
We asked them to try it out.
I was impressed with the ease of steering. A great pleasure to drive.
They looked over our restyled town car and the new Mark IV. A nationwide survey projects that in the last 3 years, over 33,000 drivers of that other luxury car switched to Continental. The 1975 Continentals. Judge any luxury car by our car. These TV chief engineers rate RCA XL100 solid-state color TVs.
We as professional broadcasters know that solid-state equipment is reliable. The XL100 solid-state television set reflects that reliability.
More TV chief engineers own RCA than any other color TV.
We use the solid-state XL100 at the station for great reliability, bright picture, and low maintenance.
RCA XL100. Don't settle for less.
minutes remaining in the game from San Francisco and the Los Angeles Rams out in front of the 49ers, 15-13. Los Angeles with the second down now and inches working on the clock. They have already used up 2 minutes and 9 seconds with 5 rushing plays. 49ers forced to use their timeouts. And Jim Harris going for his third attempt at a first down with the quarterback sneak tonight. Very close. The big 5-year man from Grambling. It's another Ram first down. And more importantly, the clock is moving. The 49ers have 1 timeout remaining. So it looks as if the Rams will extend their lead in the National Football Conference's Western Division to 3 full games over New Orleans. Next week, they play Atlanta, the 49ers. We'll move on to meet Dallas. Cappelletti breaking over the left side. He's inside the 5, and he's down to the 3.
And the clock is down to 1:20 and counting.
49ers will use their final timeout. Nick Nolan looking on, as is Chuck Knox. .119 remaining. Los Angeles leading 15-13, and we'll be back in San Francisco right after this message.
A 1-year-old diehard, a 2-year-old diehard, a 3-year-old diehard, and a 4-year-old diehard. And 3 hours later, they all started. Even the 4-year-old diehard. The diehard, with extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Sold only at Sears.
Every winter, it's a bat.
Everything's... I want to tell you.
Zoo tonight.
I want to tell you.
Moon River.
Go down to that Candless right downstairs. Really a good restaurant.
Andy wants to go to a town.
1:19 remaining in the game. The 49ers have no more timeouts. The Rams can run the clock out on the ground. They have a second down and 3. They can make another first down. Fletcher will be content with the victory. Working on the clock. James Harris going all the way. Cappelletti just making very sure he holds on to the football. Hit there by Tom Hall, the rookie from Penn State.
You're not going to believe this, Giffer. More visitors in the booth, and you know one of them very well. She's as beautiful as you are handsome.
That's Vicky Gifford.
Lynn Schlosser, and right here is Vicky Gifford. No, she's not Frank State. She's his daughter. Back to the game, Giff.
I might point out a freshman at USC.
I knew you'd get to that.
And she wanted to go to the University of Iowa, but you made her go to USC.
Indeed, she did. On third down, clock continues to move. 49ers cannot stop it, and Harris just goes down. That should run it out.
And you have to look back to that ball that Snead should not have thrown. Veteran that he is, he should never have thrown it. The interception that returned control of the game to Los Angeles.
You think coaching isn't tough? That's my pal there. We played a lot of years together.
It's tough for Chuck, too, right there. He's not happy with the performance
I'll tell you,
of his team.
Howard, it's a lot better to be 6-2 than 2-6.
That is true.
Amen, brother.
But he's getting a heart attack with every victory.
Our thanks tonight to our statistician, Terry O'Neill, and as usual, our spotter, Steve Lazica. There's the gun. It's over. Fred Dreyer shakes hands with Chuck Knox. Chuck Knox with a very comfortable lead, and his job will simply be to keep the Rams in shape for the playoffs. Once again, the final score, the Los Angeles Rams defeating the San Francisco 49ers 15-13. This is Frank Gifford, along with Howard Cosell and Mongo Alex Garris, saying so long from Candlestick Park, San Francisco, California. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional seat paid by United Airlines. United, the airline of the pros. This year, 19 of the 26 NFL teams will enjoy the spirit of friendship service. The proceeding was a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Lee J. Cobb and Gig Young star in The Great Ice Ripoff, the Wednesday movie of the week at 8:30, 7:30 Central. Right after, Christy Loves finds her own life in jeopardy when a journalist covers her investigation of a murder. Teresa Graves stars Wednesday night here on ABC.